This is the Big O Show. 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 This is
So here we are. I wanted to show you the backyard again because we had some trouble last time, but you know, cuttersedgepro.com does some amazing stuff, and they're the boys and the girl. They're having fun. There we go. Right, Maiden? Right, Bono? There we go. They're having fun. I'm having fun. Look at our Sylvester palm. It is beautiful. We got another one in the front yard like that. You can take your home and landscaping to the next level. And the artificial turf, look at that. Look at that. The two dinosaurs going at it, huh? Look at that. Gotta love the dinosaurs. Look at them. They like to bite each other's legs. That's what they do. They play with each other and then they bite each other and they piss each other off. It's fun. One is Bono, which is the one farther away from you, and Maiden. She's the girl right here. She's a badass. That's for sure. So anyway, see the flowers are coming out. Very nice. cuttersedgepro.com, folks. This big tree there will start budding that I'm showing you there soon. It'll have all kinds of flowers. I'll post another video and I'll show it to you. This is a backyard where everybody gets to hang out. Over there in the corner there, I put the barbecue and cook. So that way it's the farthest away from the house, you know. If I light myself on fire or somebody else, we're out in the corner away from everybody. There you go. So you can get some flowers coming out, which is a beautiful thing. And I swear by this artificial turf, it always looks phenomenal. I don't have to cut it. I don't have to water it. And so I'm saving a lot of money, hundreds and thousands in the long run, because I'm not watering or, of course, cutting the grass. And you know, here in South Florida, we cut the grass like every 10 to 14 days.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Radio Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated. They offer free 30-day storage, full service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
There's no need to drive around South Florida wasting valuable time looking for a new or certified pre-owned Acura. Go to the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Purchase with pace and space in a dealership tailored to your needs. From home buying to providing that personal touch. Contact the 2020 Satisfaction Award winner Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. 888-776-5123. That's 888-776-5123. Or visit them at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
Oh, I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Good morning, boys and girls. Hope you all are doing well on a hump day. Hit that like button. Get it going. Welcome aboard. Sean Stanley driving the program. It was a fun night last night, seeing the Interrupters over at Revolution Live. The AC was working, so congratulations to the folks at the Revolution Live. We were in the pit. It was a little crazy with the people moshing and all that stuff, but it was good. It was good. It was excellent, actually. It wasn't good. It was excellent. Amy and the boys were freaking awesome. It's a 20-song set. Met some of you out there. Some of you did stop me and say hi. So appreciate those out there that I was able to meet at Revolution Live last night. What a great set. They were fantastic, man. That was a lot of fun. My wife loved it. Even if we had to kind of fight the crowd a little bit with the moshing and all that. But hey, man, that's kind of part of the experience. It's one of those things. You're on the outskirts of a mosh pit, and it's kind of hot, a little sweaty. You're bumping into a whole bunch of people. It's one of those things. What's the worst part about doing that kind of stuff on a work night is that you get home, you have to shower. I mean, Jesus Christ, you're sweaty, you've been bumping into all kinds of strangers and all kinds of shit. So you gotta shower, and then it's 1 a.m. and you have showered. I don't know how many of you, but I cannot just dive into the bed. I can't. I just it's just not in me. Plus, I have a thing that David Tepper has fired Charlotte's FC today. Oh, the coach for FC. Okay. Anyway, so it's one of those where I have to then tire myself out and watch a little television and all that. And so I guess I watched the election results and all that. Everything is going, by the way, as I told you guys. Okay. Republicans have this this vote if they feel like it. And last night proved it again. By the way, the Virginia governor, backed by Trump, loses. Boom. Everything by Trump loses. It's really simple, Republicans. You name anybody else, you easily win the White House. You go with the orangutan, you will lose to the old man. It's like automatic, dude. Automatic. I did watch that last night. I watched the results. And if you put abortion to vote for the people will, go against the conservatives who are forcing these laws down people's throats. That's the other thing that I kept telling everybody about. It's the problem is that, it's about us, the will of the people. And I'm glad that the will of the people is winning, not the will of the minorities who are forcing laws down the throats and trying to control women's bodies. Let women and let the people vote to see what they want to do with it. And you see what's happening. Red states going blue. The red better adjust and get to the moderates. If you keep going to the extremes, you're going to lose everything. This is the easiest election to win for the Republicans. And they are the dumbest mofos there are on the planet. Dumb as bricks, bro. Dumb. Because the Democrats are just as dumb, but guess what? These idiots are sticking with the orangutan. Going to get burned every time. That's what I saw last night when I got home. Man, some people just don't learn. It's like this is a layup of a race for the Republicans. Layup. And they're doing everything to lose it. It's amazing. Nobody wants Biden. The Democrats don't want Biden, but nobody wants Trump. And saw that last night too. So I got tired out by that watching the election results last night. It's amazing. Amazing what's going on out there, bro. It is crazy stuff. And we got our crypto. Yeah. We got the crypto. Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. Man, things are blowing up. I've been telling you guys for a while about several things. Let's get into a couple things before I get into all the sports stuff and music and entertainment and all that good stuff. What's it called? Right now, the markets, by the way, have opened, and the Dow is up almost 35 points. The S&P is up just over 2%, and the NASDAQ is up just about half a point. Crypto-wise, Bitcoin is over 35,000 again, strong. It's at 35,316. I am this is going to pop pretty soon to 36, 37 permanently. The beauty of all of this is what I keep telling you guys. This is the best way to go up, where you go up a little bit and then you find a floor, you consolidate, and then you go up again and you find another floor and you consolidate. And what used to be a resistance now becomes support. And that's kind of what happened from 16 to 19, 20, and then about I think it was like the 24, 25 area. That was a pain in the ass forever. And then the 30 mark was a pain in the butt forever. Then it was like 31, 32, and now it's been 35 has been the one. But this is as healthy as it gets. And no asset in the world does this to go up this high. I mean, it's 35,000, Apple's not at 35,000 or Microsoft or anything, So it just shows you what a force. And by the way, some of the ones that I've talked about over the years, Polygon is up 10% today. It's already up to 77 cents. Okay, 77 cents. On October 18th, it was at 51 cents. So from 51 to 77, do the math. That's 50% rise pretty much for Polygon in less than a month, actually. Cosmos is up almost 3%. And I've been talking about Cosmos for a couple of years now. And again, another example, Cosmos was down at $6.27 on October 19th. It's at $8.53. Okay. It's gone up to over $2. These are coins that I've been talking about for a while. H-bar is another one that I've been talking about for a while. And it was down in the, let me put the price part on. It was down in the 4.5 cent range on October 12th, and it is now in the 6 cent range. By the way, the feds are using H-bar for payment. Okay. So, I mean, everybody's going to be on the blockchain. They have to be on the blockchain. Chainlink, I've been a huge supporter of Chainlink. It's been on an incredible tear. It's at $13.78 right now. It was on September 10th at $6.02. September 11th, $5.81. That's where I loaded up. That's where I found the floor, and I was able to load up, and it's already more than doubled. Anybody that got it in the $5-6 range, you've already doubled. If you got in the $7 range, you're about to double it because it's at $13.78. And Chainlink I think Chainlink. I'm not a financial advisor, okay, but I think Chainlink's going to go over $100 each, and it's at $13.79 now. Okay, so even if it gets to $40-50 and it's at 13, you're still 3-4 timing your money. Avalanche is another monster. Avalanche, by the way, has a deal with Amazon. I think they're kind of big, the Amazon people. I don't know. But if they're going to use Avalanche, just to kind of fill you in on that, Avalanche, by the way, October 18th, you're noticing where I keep finding the dates because that's really where the floor was for all of this. They're still great investments, but not as good as they were, when I was telling you October 18th, when it's $8.91 and now it's $12.77. Okay. October was a floor in the last go around, and now last year going into January of last year when we had that pump. Actually, the floor was in October, November, and December. We're doing the same thing. The floor was in October, November, and December before the incredible pumps that are coming in January. Because if you remember, we went to 16.5. And then in January, Bitcoin pumped to like 25, right? And then that's when it started to pump. In January 1st, we started to pump. But the thing is that we were in the 19 area, but if you got it in October, you got it at 16.5. Or November, I think it was 16.5, something like that. And then it started to go up. And so that's what I'm telling you. You gotta, there's still some great deals. Like H-bar at 6 cents is still, I think, an absolute steal. I really do. Gala Games, the two owners are suing each other, but when it comes to the metaverse and the gaming, they are beasts. They're up 12% today. And this is one that was down at 1.5 cents, and it's at 2.2 cents now. I'm a huge Illuvium guy. It's up to $73 now, Illuvium. And just to kind of fill you in, on October 16th, it was at $40, $39.55, $40. And now it's at 73. So those of us that loaded up when it was down there, I think I got even at 38. I think it was at 38 also, because I remember like 38 at one point. Let me see. Yes, 38.57, October 19th. I remember because I bought it at 38. And so you're already at 73. You're already doubling it. So there's a lot of these coins that I've talked about over the years, over the last couple of years. Immutable X is another one that's at 84 cents right now, and it is going to climb. It was down at 48 cents September 12th. It was down at 51 cents October 12th. So it's now at 84. These are all, and Immutable X, the amount of gaming and metaverse on it is absolutely sick. All right. There you go. There's a couple of coins that I really like a lot, and stuff that we've been talking about for a while now, and kind of showing you that, when I tell you to buy the dip, and it sounds insane, it's like insanity, right? Because at that moment, it just seemed like it's dipping. Why would you keep? Well, that people have a tendency of getting on when it's on its parabolic run. And then you're already too late at that point. That's why we do dollar cost average. So as it's going down, you continue to buy. And what you do is you save your money and you buy more and more as it goes down even more. And I know it sounds like, wait a minute, but it's dropping. You're buying more. Yet that's where you make your money. You know what I mean? And so a lot of these coins that I talked about, I have the bottoms on those coins because I bought it all the way down to the bottom. And then in the bottom, I kept buying even more as much as I could. You know what I mean? And that's kind of the way you got to handle this. And so these are some of the ones that I've been involved in for a while now. And it's on Twitter. That's the beauty of it all. It's all on Twitter. I even retweet some of the ones that I tell people, hey, look, I told you about this a while back. Injective protocol. Not this past August, the August before that, I told you guys about Injective Protocol when it was at $1.43. It has been the most, even more than Bitcoin, okay? It has been the strongest moving asset in all of crypto, and we nailed it on this show, INJ. Now, at this point, to buy INJ, it's a little bit insanity. I told you when it was $1.43, not this past August, last August, $1.43. Do you know where it's at right now? $17.28. Okay. Any of you that got into Injective Protocol, you are loving life, and you should be thanking me like enormously on that. Okay. So there you go. But it's, funny how, it's the best part. Now we're watching everybody get involved in it. So all you people that kept jamming on me the last 2 years about it, and it's fake and it's not real and all that, now you're finding out that it's incredibly real, and the entire world now is getting on board. And now that mass adoption is coming in 2024 and 2025, the amount that this thing is going to explode. So those of you that have taken the ride with me, people like Brooklyn Rob, people like Lisa Rose, what's it called? Crypto Noob, I know, is another one. I know South Beach George. I never see him on the chat board, but I always see him on Twitter. I know he's in. Crypto Fins, I would imagine, is a crypto guy if he's Crypto Fins. You know what I mean? But there's a bunch of you out there that you're in denial, or you're listening to, the general media and public that really know nothing about this. And, it's all good in the hood, as they say. Brooklyn Rob was number one in. Ryan AP in. Steve Chapman is in. The good news is, with the defenses coming around, there are still 8 games to work out the kinks on offense and the road against the good teams. Yes, sir. It's about Mike McDaniel. And I'm going to tell you something, that an ingredient they need to add. I was thinking about that. And it's something good to talk about here during the bye week. and we'll get to that here on the program. Brian Walters is in. Mr. Torres 78 is in Orange County, California. Aaron Hernandez is in. Jay Gelfin in. Thank you, sir. He says to smash that like button and ring the subscribe bell. Yes, sir. When you hit the subscription, when you hit the notification bell, that is, it notifies you when we're on all the time, or Sean goes on, or whatever. Okay. Giovanni is in. Chad is in. Robert T in. True Finn fan. I farted and it smells like turkey. That's a good fart. Nico Jones is in. I can confirm Big O's theory that some coaches are not happy with Mario's way of coaching, i.e. dictatorship. I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything yesterday. I didn't say anything. We never say anything. You know who I trip out on? The segment people. I love them because Sean and I love them because they listen, but I always can catch the segment people because they're like, hey, this, that, they're asking me, and I go like, dude, I talk about it on the show. Well, I just download this. Well, you don't catch in between segments. You don't listen to the regular talk. Well, and you're going to miss out on all kinds of things. You're going to miss out on making money in gambling or in crypto. You're going to miss out on general information. You're going to miss out on some stuff. You're going to miss out on insight. You're going to miss out stories that are just going to come up, that just come through my mind, that it reminds me of something that happened. Those are the things that you're going to end up missing out on. We love the interviews, obviously. We've got Ira Winderman today at 10:30. We got Matt Verderam at 11 and Joe Shad at 11:30. We got an all-star list for today. But there's more to the show than just the interviews. And sometimes people don't take the time to find out. Boss B, Ray Sosa in. Jayhawk says, heard in Joe Rose show this morning that Belichick may be, the Ben Volen. Okay, we've had this Ben Volen conversation. Look, I got nothing against Ben Volen, okay? He's never done anything to me. He seems like a decent dude overall. His reporting is something completely different now. Now I can comment differently on that. This is the guy that didn't think Tua could play. This is the guy that came on Joe Rose's show about 6 years ago and said that Brady was done. And he just went on and win 2 more titles, one with New England, one with Tampa after. Okay? Literally. And he said Brady was done. So when it comes to assessment of talent, okay, I don't trust Ben Volen as it is on that sense right there. Okay? As a guy that I think I do a pretty damn good job of assessing talent overall. Okay? Much better than 99% of the media that's been in town or nationally. That's the way. I'm sorry if I'm arrogant, cocky, confident, whatever it is, but that's the way I feel. And so I see the track record. And so with Ben, I know the story makes no sense. I'll tell you why it makes no sense when I read it. How do you fire the greatest coach in your history in the middle of a season after the Colts loss? So if they lose this week, he wrote, they could fire him. No, they're not. They'll fire him at the end of the year. That he will get fired at the end of the year. That I believe. Belichick is done there. There's no way Kraft keeps him around. They're not going anywhere. They're only getting worse and worse. He's out of touch. It's like watching Charlie Munger and, who's this other guy from Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett. I know these 2 old farts are super smart and have made a ton of money, and they've also manipulated the market in the sense because they also control a lot of the stuff that goes on. But they're also old and they're stuck in their ways because all of their money is pretty much tied up in the banking system. So they shit all over Bitcoin and crypto because they know that Bitcoin's going to run it over. They're smart enough about that, but they're conniving. But at the same time, they sound old and curmudgeon because they sound like they're out of touch. Okay?
Well, that's what Belichick is. He's out of touch, dude. He's out of touch. When he pulled with Patricia thinking he could do whatever he wants and he'll create an offense and all that. And, it makes no sense, dude. You don't fire Shula in the middle of the season. You don't fire Tom Landry in the middle of the season. You wait till the end of the season and you say, hey, Bill, thank you for everything you've done. But it is time for us to part ways. You've got a heavy check that we just signed you to a contract. That'll be a nice goodbye present. We're going to celebrate you and your career next year. We'll put a statue of you outside of the stadium. We love everything you've done for us, but we think it's time to move on. And that's it. And you part ways professionally. You don't fire him like you fire Cam Cameron halfway through the season. And that's where Ben Volen has zero touch on how you handle these kind of situations. The season's over. It's over for the Patriots. Why are you going to fire him now? You let him finish out the season. You let him finish out his job with respect, even if he's struggling, but he's going to go out in his own terms. And then at the end of the year, you have a decent conversation with him and you thank him profusely for everything you've done. And you say, hey, man, we have to move on. And that's it. But you do it the right way. You don't fire him midway through the season like he's some jag that you mishired like Cam Cameron or some shit like that. I mean, that's so stupid that Ben Volen would write such an asinine article that I can tell you he has no substance behind it. There's no way he has a solid source behind that. Okay? And on Monday, you can throw egg on my face if they fire Bill and I was wrong and Ben Volen was right. But there's a good chance that Ben Volen is wrong because there's a good chance that most of the time Ben Volen is wrong. Okay. That's been my history around Ben Volen. Okay? Just because you're in the media doesn't necessarily mean you're very good at actually following sports. Okay? I've noticed that. And on top of that, sometimes there's some that just maybe won't say what actually needs to be said too. That's never been my problem. And it's probably why I'm not in the traditional corporate world anymore. Thank the Lord. Anyway, Boss B, Ray Sosa, Jayhawk, One-Eyed Jack is in. Brian Landis. Ray Sosa says, FAU basketball begins today. Hoot, hoot. Giovanni is in. Raider, Jets, Commanders, Titans all next up. Teams with lesser QBs running the offense of our defense to feast on and grow. Yes, sir. Jayhawk in. Example of why QB is most important position in sports. New England Pats. Brady leaves, and they are a mess. Marino left. We've been a mess. Good morning, Owen Sean. Let's go, Finn, says Steven Gonzalez. Jonathan Cagle, smashing that like button. Roderick Freeman, good morning, Owen Sean. I'm listening to you, the best sports show in South Florida, on the Amtrak to Orlando and Mickey's house. Keep it up, Big O. You're the best. Thank you, Roderick. That's very nice of you. And enjoy yourself out there, man. I have not gone back to Disney since pre-pandemic, and I am dying to go back. And yes, my daughter's all grown up, and I go to Disney a ton with the wife before our daughter was born, with our daughter, and I'm going to be going back again. Maybe not as much because I know it's expensive as hell now, but I will go because I love going to Disney and hanging out in the parks. I want to go to the wine festival. That's one thing I want to really experience. I have not done that ever. I've never done the food and wine festival over at Epcot. And sometimes during that month of the food and wine festival, which is right up my alley, they also have concerts too. So you can enjoy the food and wines, and then you can enjoy a little bit of music. So that's nothing wrong with enjoying a little music in your soul, baby. Chef Jew is in. How y'all doing this morning? Thank you, Chef Jew.
Giovanni, Pats fans down real bad right now, projected for a top 5 pick and can't even count on GM Belichick to draft the right guy. I don't think he'll be GMing for that pick. Robert T says, Big O, I am one issue voter this time around, pro crypto. Yeah. Yeah. Well, but hold on a second. Biden is not pro crypto and neither is Trump. Although the Trump part is kind of weird because the moron sold his NFTs on Ethereum, and Trump has like a nice chunk of Ethereum, and Ethereum is going to blow up. Okay, the good thing, the Republicans are way more knowledgeable about crypto and they're more open to Bitcoin and crypto. The Democrats are incredibly ignorant when it comes to crypto and evil. They're evil also because they know it's the freedom for the average person anywhere in the world because the fiat currency is dying everywhere. Doesn't matter if you're in the U.S. or in London or in Brazil or Argentina. You cannot survive when you have a debt-ridden type of economy, and that's what our banking system is. It's a debt-ridden type of system, and you can't that when the debt is growing at billions a day and trillions a year, that's why I keep telling you, your dollar in 1911 is now the same dollar. What you bought for $1 in 1911 costs $6.60 now, and it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And the English gave us the same banking system. Everybody uses it. And go look at it, and everybody's currency is gone to crap, and it's just going to get worse. And they know that crypto and Bitcoin is the answer to that because it takes them out of the equation, the people that ruin it for us. So there you go, Robert T. You should be pro-crypto, and you should have candidates that are pro-crypto and that understand Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Because we're all going to be living it. It's the same shit as the internet and email. Oh, the internet. Oh, email, this, that. Now you can't live without the internet and you can't live without email. And the blockchain is the upgraded internet, is what it is. It's the protected internet. That's what it's all about. But eventually, 95% of the world that's behind right now, they will figure this out. But it's going to take a while, So those of us that are in it, we're already ahead of it and we're already understanding. Now you're watching everybody else get in it. Now when you see BlackRock and ARK Investments and everybody else get in it, and Fidelity and T. Rowe Price and all these investment firms, and they all want Bitcoin now, there's a reason. They can't hide it anymore. Now they either join or they get run over. As I told you 2 years ago, banks will be closing. They're closing all over the place. And it was easy to see for those of us that are following decentralized financing, it eliminates the middleman. Okay? Now you don't have to wire to somebody internationally to your bank that then wires to a central international bank that goes to their local bank wherever they're at in Argentina, Yugoslavia, or whatever. Now with Bitcoin, you grab your phone and you bam, and it lands right there wherever you're going in a second. And you eliminated the middleman, you eliminated all the fees and everything. Eventually, all of you will figure this out, and it'll become second nature to you. And you'll see. But you should be very pro-crypto for whatever candidates. Problem is, both sides right now are not really smart enough for it. All right, let's get to some basketball talk. Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
How you feeling, Ira? You feeling good?
Good, beautiful day here in Memphis, mid-70s. You know what? After Milwaukee and snow, it's a nice change of pace. But Big O, you will be seeing a lot of me from hotel rooms like this with 9 of the next 10 on the road. So you think it's been rough for the Heat already? They have huge challenges ahead.
Yeah, no, they do. And, the other night,
To me, like I told you, and I'm pretty consistent on this. When you were 1-4, you're telling me, are you panicking? I'm like, no, dude, it's 1-4. There's 82 games, right? And so, and then I'm not going to get too high on the Laker win.
Sure.
You know, you barely hung on. You had 9 turnovers in the fourth quarter. You know how I looked at that game? I said, okay, what are you going to need in March and April, May and June? Okay, you're going to need my Jaquez, because he showed me some cojones, playing defense and everything on LeBron. I'm going to need Bam and Tyler. Bam, nice triple-double, but as a big man, I can't have you shooting 9 of 20. I need you to be more efficient offensively. Tyler, I need you to be more efficient offensively. Jimmy Butler, baby, that's the Butler I need right there. I love it, the efficient Butler. He came into play. To me, that's how I looked at that game. I was critical of Tyler, I can't have you 2 of 10, bro, from three-point range. I need efficiency from you. One of the things I loved about the big three, it's almost like they took on the challenge of efficiency. They love being efficient. They prided themselves on that. And because it's better basketball when you're playing more intelligent basketball and you're taking smarter shots and you're setting each other up. And that's the one thing. That's how I looked at that game. Sure, it's nice that you won, but it was kind of an ugly win. And I just want to look at little things in there. Like the other thing that I was looking at was at point guard. I'm like, man, I need Josh to start looking a little better here. That's how I started to critique that game. Elements that I need to see months from now.
No, I agree. I mean, again, it was harrowing. It should not have been that harrowing with Anthony Davis with a groin injury. I'm not going to complain too much about Bam's shooting percentage, because he did have Anthony Davis against him for a reasonable percentage of time, playing against that length again. There are things they're getting to, and that's encouraging. And I agree about Jaime Jaquez, and I just wrote a story at the Sun Sentinel now about how in his role as a complementary piece, he's an important part of the team. I agree about point guard. And that's, what? It's funny because I've been doing these accurate Pembroke Pines reports for years. We've been talking about point guard for years. As soon as it became clear that Kyle Lowry wasn't the be-all, end-all, you knew you needed a stronger backup presence. And you know what, Big O, and I talked to you about this going back to the Ryan Tannehill days. In the NFL, you can tell somebody's a quarterback, but if he's not innately a quarterback, it takes time and it almost never works. Josh Richardson is not a point guard. He can handle, he can defend point guards, but he's not that innate point guard that you see with someone there. So if Kyle Lowry is going to become a part-time, older, 37-year-old player, you needed to have someone in a backup role who is that. Now, I'm not saying go out and sign a John Wall or someone like that, but even hell, Ish Smith, everyone's favorite, add another team to his legacy, just someone who knows how to play the position. So I think the Heat is still sorting through stuff. The fact that we're not seeing Drew Smith anymore, I think the Heat are going to let that partial guarantee expire, bring in someone with a little bit more experience. I still think this is a rotation that's still in progress and a roster still in progress, and they're still learning what they need and how to be themselves. And you know what, Big O? This 10-game stretch, 9 of 10 on the road, go 5, you don't want to see it, but go 5-5, get back, get your legs, know who you are. Just like you said with Jimmy Butler. Fantastic game on Monday. But how many do you expect from Jimmy like that over the first half of the season? He's going to find his time. Yeah.
Not a lot.
Yeah, matter of fact, you and I should keep an eye out on this weekend. In Atlanta on Saturday, San Antonio on Sunday. Does Jimmy, let me get the air quotes out, rest again on Sunday in San Antonio? So this is something that's going to be a work in progress for a while. I agree with that.
Yeah, and the key thing you said there is that, and this is why, again, I wasn't panicking at 1-4. The chef he just started cooking, bro.
Yes.
We're just in the middle of him preparing the ingredients, and he's still cutting stuff up and getting his spices. He hasn't even started mixing stuff up and cooking yet. And so he does this shit every year. Sure. What you have in October, November, it's not what you're going to have in March and April. By that time, he would have figured everything out. Plus, there'll be some roster turnover.
Sure.
be something. They'll figure something out, and they could be the team that also gets, maybe a guy that has an expiring contract. They might be able to add a guy, right? That might be an option.
No, I agree. And to use your cooking analogy a little further, it's like Jimmy is saying, okay, let the sous chefs take care of preparing the start of the season, and I'll come in and I'll finish the souffle when I have to. And you know what? Look, it's not optimal. And you do pay for 41 games. And I get it, everyone out there who follows our accurate Pembroke Pines reports. But the reality is Jimmy Butler is a second half of the season, is a playoff player. The sooner you come to just accept that, the easier the watch gets. I have no issue with Tyler Hero trying to learn who he is right now. Big O, we've seen, I'd say in the Heat's games.
Dude. He had 3 steals the other day.
I'd say in half the games, he has taken the right shots. Half the games we've watched him, we've said, okay, good shot, good shot. Half the games we've seen 4-shot, bad shot, rush shot. You know what? He has to work through the cycle. He's never been truly a leading man for an extended period. Jimmy is stepping back. They don't necessarily have the offensive talent in the starting lineup right now, especially starting a Haywood Highsmith, Kyle Lowry not shooting. So Tyler Hero's learning how to become that. That takes time also. I would say this. I think Tyler Hero is trending in a very positive direction of becoming a greater contributor than maybe we anticipated when we had him traded Northeast, Northwest, anywhere this offseason. I think Tyler can be a special player, but will the specialist just stop at offense? You pointed out the steals the other day, or can he become more complete? He is rebounding.
Well, there's 2 ways I look at it. Tyler, one, I'm not that worried as much about his offense because I think that's natural to him.
Sure.
So I think he'll easily grow into that position that you're talking about. His bigger issue has been durability. He's got to stay healthy. And then he's got to steal a page from Duncan Robinson. Because that's the other thing I saw, it's just a beautiful thing to see what he did last year when he was on the bench and he figured it out and said, oh shit, if I don't start becoming a better all-around player, I'm not going to find myself not only on the Heat, I may not find myself in the NBA, pretty soon. So he went about making himself a better player. And I think that that's what Tyler needs to do. 1, stay healthy, and 2, learn to be a better player, a more complete player. The offensive stuff for me, that's natural for him. That'll come. It's staying healthy and learn to be a better player for me. That's what I want from Tyler.
Yeah, and that's the completeness. You needed a player at that pay grade. Again, it's interesting. I wrote to my Ask Ira about this today. People complain about Duncan Robinson's contract when the reality is for a sixth man, 18 million is about right these days. I know people, it's whack, but that's how it is. But Tyler Hero this year is starting the first year of a 4-year, $120 million guaranteed contract. When you're a $30 million player, there are greater expectations. You do have to be more complete. You have to keep on adding. I love what Eric Spoelstra says about the Heat's developmental process and their program. He said it's not just for young players and the G League guys. Every single player can develop their game as they go along. We've seen it with Bam Adebayo and that mid-range jump shot and him becoming more complete. Now you need to see it with Tyler Hero. He needs growth. He's still just 23. He needs to grow the next 3 or 4 years. I think he can do that. And at this pay grade, Big O, he has to do that.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no doubt he has to do that. All right, the challenge today against Memphis. What do you see in that one?
You're getting Memphis Grizzlies at a perfect time. You're getting the Grizzlies at a time when John Morant is out. We'll see him next time. When Brandon Clark is out. When Steven Adams is out for the season. For all the woe is we Heat injuries we've dealt with over the first 2 weeks of the season, this is a beat-up team. They barely got by Portland in their last game for their lone win of the season. You have to seize these moments.
The gun isn't loaded. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll leave that be. I'll leave that be right now. So where they are right now, you have Atlanta coming up on Saturday, a bit of a tougher challenge. You have some tougher games on this trip also. You really got to take care of this. You have a weak and wounded opponent. They're 0-3 at home this season. The Heat are 0-3 on the road. Let's make a statement. You need to win some road games. Hey, last trip, I have no issue. Boston Celtics are really good. Minnesota on the second night of a back-to-back without Jimmy, kind of as expected. Milwaukee Bucks, Lillard coming off that poor game wanted to have a good game. That's fine. But if the Heat are an above-average East playoff team, You should go in across the street here to FedEx Forum, and you should beat the Grizzlies tonight. You have to take advantage of these opportunities. They should take advantage of these opportunities. And then, Big O, it goes to what you said. You've got to back it up. Butler, good game on Monday, do it again. Bam, good game on Monday, do it again. Tyler, good game on Monday, do it again. If you're in that pay grade of an every night player, you have to back up those performances.
Okay, so Hard Rock app says Heat by 2.5.
Yeah, I got to load my app again.
Wait a minute. It went down to 1.5. What am I doing, Ira?
I don't know. I got to check the injury report. I got to tell you, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5. If the Heat can't be this team, you're talking about a team that has Marcus Smart out of his Boston Celtics element, has Jaren Jackson Jr., who may be way overrated, and not much else out there in the court. If you can't take care of this, I'll leave the gambling to others. We here on the Accurate Pembroke Pines Report just provide the information. I'm sure you have multiple gambling sponsors who can handle the rest. This should be an 8 to 10 point Heat win, but that's not gambling information, just my thoughts.
Hey, we're not financial advisors here. I say that all the time here on the show, so it's all right. Don't worry about it.
Or in the words of Big O, take all your Ethereum and put it on the Heat, but that's just me.
No, don't do that. No, don't. Ethereum is a much better bet than the Heat, actually. Put your Doge on the Heat. That's what you do. Your Doge. Put your Doge on the Heat. Injury-wise, how are the Heat going into this game?
There's actually an illness going around the team, so R.J. Hampton and Jamal Cain are away from the team. One thing we've sort of glossed over, Big O, Caleb Martin hasn't played in the regular season. That will make a shaky bench that much better. Here's the good news. For the first time, he's traveling. You want to get your players out on the road. That, to me, is a very good sign. This bench has been a little bit wonky. You throw Caleb Martin in there, you're in better shape. Then I really don't know if Kevin Love plays. It'll get interesting now that Haywood Highsmith is starting at the 4, if Caleb comes back also. And interestingly, they sent Cole Swider to the G League. He's up in Sioux Falls. They're practicing. Their season's about to start.
I like that move.
I like the seasoning, but it says something else. There were doubts, one, about whether Duncan Robinson would be with this team with all those trade rumors, and whether Duncan Robinson would be any good. I think because Duncan Robinson has played so well, it's easier to move Cole Swider over to Sioux Falls and let him get the seasoning. Cole Swider was signed to his 2-way contract as insurance. Right now, fortunately, you don't need that insurance. So a lot of little subtle moves by the Heat. And, of course, the big move, naming Udonis Haslem a team executive. I mean, honestly, if I was going to gamble, I could have seen that coming a mile away. This guy is going nowhere. They created a title just so we can keep being around the team because he's going to be here anyway.
Right, exactly. And by the way, they should make him the Turk. So if you cut somebody, just send UD to cut him. That's it. That way you never have.
Yeah, no one's complaining then. You're right.
And then once the player sees UD, it's like, oh shit. This is not good news. I'm seeing the Turk. It's UD, so that's pretty good. All right. I'm glad they're getting Caleb Martin back, especially for this road trip, because this is a long ass road trip and you need as many good players as possible. And I think Highsmith is another one that will get better as the year goes on. I have a lot of high hopes for Highsmith becoming a factor in this rotation, just like Jaquez has already become a factor because the young man is already mature up here.
And that's the thing, Big O, and it's a double-edged sword. Haywood Highsmith is an impending free agent. He could be our next Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, who prices himself out of the Heat's market. So you want Haywood to be really good, but not too really good. It really is interesting. That's I spoke to Pat Riley about this. He said he thinks there almost should be some developmental clause in the salary cap, that it's not fair if a team develops someone to be worth more, that they can't keep that player once he is worth more. You're going to see that when Caleb Martin becomes a free agent this offseason. You're going to see it when Haywood Highsmith becomes a free agent this offseason. That's the price of such a good to great developmental program.
There we go. All right, what do you got going on the Sun Sentinel so folks can check you out?
I knew you wanted to read about it, so I wrote about Jaime Jaquez this morning, and I wrote about it this way. He averaged over 30 minutes a game at UCLA each of the last 3 years. He's playing 18 now at the Heat. He talked about learning to be more efficient in fewer minutes. When you draft that late, even as a first-round pick, you don't play as much. But the kid has the smarts that he realizes, I will give you 18 of my hardest minutes every night. I posted that. That'll be in your paper in the morning. And then my Ask Ira today, I wrote about Duncan Robinson and how who would have thought he would have emerged as the sixth man, and God bless him for putting in the effort and putting in the time and becoming a 3-point anchor in that second unit. That's all you want. And you hope that when it comes around for any player who's out of the rotation, he realizes there's still a chance. You have to work toward it.
And by the way, the film session, the moment that they show Jaime a couple times on LeBron, that must have been a fun moment there in the film session.
He said it was a lifetime moment. He grew up in the LA area. He was born in Irvine in Orange County. He was raised in Camarillo outside of Los Angeles, went to UCLA. I love the honesty. I love the quote he had also. It's in the story. He goes, one day I'll tell my kids about that when I have kids. So he already has his lifetime moment. I guarantee you, somewhere in the Jaquez family home back in California, there's already a picture of Jaime coming up with that steal against LeBron James. That is one of those can't believe it really happened kind of moments.
Yeah, pretty damn cool. Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeats and catch him doing his thing here with our Acura Pembroke Pines, Miami Heat, and NBA report. Ira, as always, thank you, my friend. We'll catch up next week for your travels.
Catch you next week. Back to sell more cars next week. Thanks, Big O.
Got it, sir. Thank you. There you go. Ira Winderman. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. It is the finest dealership in the business. And by the way, folks, if you own an Acura or lease an Acura, make sure you go check out our service center. Why? Because Jordan Ferber, yes, sir, he's there. He's a great dude. And it's run by Mike Chan. Mike Chan is an absolute stud. Tell him that Big O sent you, and trust me, they will take care of you at 15601 Pines Boulevard, where the Integra, the 2024, $329 a month, 3.9% financing for 36 months. The 2023 TLX, $399, 3.9% financing for 36 months. The MDX 2024, we have an MDX. We've had 2 MDXs over the lifetime here in our house. We only have one left right now. The wife has the MDX. $529 a month for the 2024, 3.9% financing for 36 months. And the TLX Type S, that thing is just gorgeous, loaded with extras. Still have some 2023 models, only $649 a month. So go check it out, folks, at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines.
All right. David goes, is Kraft happy? No. Will Kraft embarrass Bill Belichick by firing him midseason? No freaking chance. Of course not. It's a stupid story. And I don't know what kind of source Ben was going off of, but it was a bad one. Because it just makes zero sense. I would be shocked that you treat somebody like that has been so successful to your organization. You know, this isn't Urban Meyer doing some dirty shit that you have to get rid of him right away or something. This is just a guy that's, you know, those of us that are old enough, I tell you all the time, getting old is not good, bro, okay? Because, you know, your body's falling apart. You're not the same. You go to concerts at night. The next day, you don't bounce back the same like you used to, and all that stuff. But perspective and experience come with it. And we watched Don Shula lose touch. We watched Chuck Noll lose touch. We watched Tom Landry lose the touch. It happens, dude. It happens. We all get too old to do whatever it is that we do. I don't care if you're selling cars, you're a coal miner, you're a broadcaster, whatever it is, you're a writer, you'll get too old to do what you're doing, what you love to do. At one point or another, you're going to lose your fastball. And everybody loses it. And he's lost his fastball. And it was Tom Brady. Mateo, thank you for the love in the super chat. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show.
Mateo says, our defense is looking good. Will help in December, big time, and January and February if they can get there. Crypto Finn says, I follow all my crypto leads from Big O. Well, that's very nice of you. Then you're in the green because I'm in the green. So you must be in the green. Okay. Oh, thoughts on LeBron complaining about not LeBron's a complaining little whiny bitch. I mean, whatever, dude. Let's see. Samuel says, good morning, Big O and Sean. Check out the Tommy Hutton tweet of the day referring to Jazz Chisholm. Oh, let me see. I got to check it out. All right, you got me working here. I got to go find Tommy Hutton. What did he do? What did Tommy Hutton do now? I love Tommy Hutton. He's so awesome. Let's see here. I don't see anything here. I'm not sure. Maybe it was a reply. Let's see. No. Oh, here it is. I got it now. So the Miami Marlins, fucking good, bro. Oh, shit, that was good. You got to bring it up. You got to go to replies, and there's a Miami Marlins tweet. It says, every day is fashion week for Jazz Chisholm. Which look of the season was your favorite? Tommy Hutton retweets under it, says, my favorite look would be in the lineup for 150 games. Oh, that is fantastic. Oh, my God. That is awesome. That is awesome. Awesome. That's why I said I love Tommy Hutton, because Tommy Hutton tells it like it is. And that's my kind of guy. I'm not into playing the politics and all that bullshit. There it is. That's the tweet, and it shows all kinds of jazzes, and then under it, right there, is his tweet. Fantastic, and 1,000% true, dude. 1,000% true. Miami will beat Memphis. Well, true Fin fan, they better beat them by 2 because I just put the money on it. Okay. Oh, man. Thank you, Hard Rock app. I'll be betting live in game now. That's my favorite thing. I was at a concert last night, so I know Squared Circle was doing their thing. I saw them on Twitter, but I wasn't able to watch anything, and I wasn't able to watch any election crap that was going on last night. And what else was going on last night? I don't know what else there was on last night, but I was busy enjoying myself with the wife. Man, we had a good time with the Interrupters. God, that was so good. That was so much fun. Tyler needs to steal a page from Duncan and work on his movement without the ball. It's not his game, but he should be able to add that. Yeah, dude. He, like I told Ira, he has to do exactly what Duncan did and work on the rest of his game. Be a better defender, a better rebounder, play better off the ball, like what you're talking about. Maybe do a little post action, mix things up, dude. Yeah, I'm with you all the way. And build his body up a little bit more too along the way. I think he can. You can build your body up where you don't have to bulk up, but you do get stronger. And I think he needs to be that. He needs to get to that point. He doesn't cross that threshold. I don't give a rip when or if Belichick gets fired. I just don't want him beating Shula's record. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen anymore, my brother. You don't have to worry about that at all. The Jaime Jaquez kid has that it factor. The kid is a baller. Can't wait to see how much more he'll improve, especially with this coaching staff. The right coaching staff got Jaime Jaquez, because Jaime Jaquez can ball,
But he's going to become an even better baller here with this team, with this coaching staff. Big O, Shula was still winning 9-10 games, but fizzled inches playoffs. Yeah, exactly. He, Shula, the GM, it's the same shit that goes on with Belichick right now. Belichick, the GM, kills Belichick, the coach. And Shula, the GM, killed Shula, the coach. But these kind of dudes are not going to answer to people anymore. They're not. You cannot tell Don Shula, hey, listen, we're going to just leave you as coach. We're going to hire a GM above you, and he's going to decide what talent you coach. You cannot tell Tom Landry and Don Shula and Bill Belichick and people like that. You can't tell them that, so you got to fire them. But you do it the right way. You do it at the end of the season. You do it in a celebratory fashion as much as you can, that, you want to, hey, we're parting ways, but we want you to know how much we love what you have done and how much we're going to appreciate, and we're going to celebrate your career with us, and we're going to enshrine you and all that kind of stuff. And you've got to do it in a way where it's a bad moment, but you also have to do it in a way where you're telling them, hey, listen, this is all professional. It's nothing personal. We love you. We still want you to be a part of the organization, but we have to turn the page. You have to do it that way. This stupid ass report that you're going to fire them if they lose to the Colts, possibly, there's no shot. And by the way, these weak ass reporters do this shit. He could get fired after the Colts if they lose the Colts. And if he does, well, I said he could. So you kind of leave yourself open. I don't do that shit, dude. I give you conviction. Okay? I tell you, Flo's running roughshod through the building. I tell you, Flo will get fired at the end of the year in the middle of a winning streak. Okay? I'll tell you, Vontae Davis is, immature. I'll tell you, when the second Joe Philbin gets hired, he cannot build a staff. I'll tell you right there and then. I'll go out on that limb, and maybe I'm wrong, but there's a good chance that I'm going to be right. And why? Because I actually got good information. That's the difference between me and some of these other people out there. Because when I go with something with conviction, it's because I got the goddamn information. So if I don't have the information, then I can't go with it. Then I'll give you opinions. And I'll tell you, well, I think this could happen. Like the Jets on Monday night. I feared the hell out of Goldilocks throwing the ball away a bunch of times, and these guys running back for 6 points, pick sixes, like going out of style. I thought for sure the Jets were going to win that game, because I thought for sure Goldilocks would fold it. Luckily, they didn't really need Goldilocks to do much. The team kind of did everything else. He only had to complete a couple passes. They got the special teams touchdown, and, Zach Wilson is a special kind of suck. So I helped out. Thank the Lord. See, those are the kind of things that I could be wrong about. But this whole thing, you don't throw a grenade like that in there, like, oh, Belichick could be fired. Bro, that's some shit. If you're going to say that a coach is going to get fired, you better have your stuff straight, dude. And that makes no sense to me whatsoever. None. If you tell me that they're going to fire some guy that they just hired, okay. Year or two, yeah. But the most important coach in the history of your franchise, that's just not how it works. People don't do that. Dude 67 is in. John Padilla. Joseph, GM, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, sir. Brett Dodger, Big O. Old age comes at a bad time. When you finally know everything, you start to forget everything you know. Yeah, exactly. And it's going to happen to all of us. Big O, watching the UM game this weekend will be the equivalent to watching the Red Wedding. Hide the women and children, bro, because it's going to be ugly on Saturday. It's going to be ugly on Saturday. And by the way, the Hard Rock app does not have, let me check. It does not have the game. Because I got to tell you something, it's very tempting to bet on FSU. Here we go. Men's football. And let's see. It stops at 3:30, which is when the game is, but it only has FIU, Middle Tennessee, which is at 3, Minnesota, Purdue at 3:30, and Northwestern Wisconsin at 3. And after that, I don't get any more games. So there you go. Middle Tennessee State, that beat the University of Miami, is favored by over FIU by 11.5 at Middle Tennessee State. Why does that seem like a gimme to me? Sorry, FIU. Apologies. But if Middle Tennessee State, although Mario Cristobal can't coach out of a paper bag. No, Mario Cristobal can't coach out of a napkin. Paper bag might be a little tougher to get out of. I mean, it's bad. Hour number 2 is next. The one and only Matt Verderam joins us on the other side.
Oh, great. You have a doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house! Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Right, there he is. Ready to go. How you feeling, baby? You feeling good?
I'm feeling good. How are you?
Exceptional, baby. The crypto market is pumping. I am feeling good, man.
There you go.
So it's all about the Bitcoin, baby. All right. The Bitcoin that got old was Belichick, but I got to tell you something. And look, I know Ben Volen, nice guy, but his report for me is, I think it's as full of shit as it gets. And I would tell Ben right to his face on it. The idea that you're going to fire Belichick, even if he loses, not just the Colts game, if he loses the next 5 games. I saw Shula, and the game got past him. I saw Tom Landry. I saw Chuck Noll. I've seen this shit before. These kind of people, you wait to the end of the year. The season's over already, bro. You're the most important figure in the history of your franchise. You are not going to fire him like he's Cam Cameron. Like, he's just some slapdick that you just hired a year or 2 ago, and he means nothing to your franchise, and he was an absolute mistake. The idea that you would just fire Belichick mid-season, I think it's actually pretty disrespectful to Robert Kraft to think that he would be that short-sighted and that disrespectful to Belichick and to the franchise and to the fan base to create a fiasco like that in the middle of the season with a figure like that. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Look, I don't know Ben Volen personally. I have read his reporting, and he's an excellent reporter. I would agree with you, though. Like there is no world they're firing Belichick in season. First of all, for the obvious reason, which you laid out, that is Belichick's arguably the best coach to ever walk on a football field. Like whether or not you think he is or he's not, I mean, he's right at the top of the list.
Whatever, right?
And he Look, that franchise, people of certain age don't even remember. That franchise was a joke before Belichick and Brady showed up. Okay, that team had done nothing for
Since
years.
Since the AFL.
Okay, they never won a championship. They were rumored to move in the early to mid 90s before Kraft showed up and stabilized the team. So that's one thing. Secondly, Robert Kraft, as much as any owner in the league, is very aware of public perception. He knows what the temperature is around his team. And certainly it's not helping that there's some empty seats at Gillette. That is noticed. At the same point, Robert Kraft understands if he fires Bill Belichick midseason, what that's going to look like. Okay, this is a guy who is acutely in tune with everybody's commentary around the Patriots. So, as you point out too, their season's done. What are you gaining? You're going to hire Gerard Mayo. He's in-house. You don't have to get out ahead of a search. Like,
by the way, abuse Gerard Mayo by putting him as an interim coach?
You're right. I mean, for what point? Like,
him.
There's no world Belichick's gone. I mean, unless Belichick just up and quit or something, there is no world where he's being fired in New England during the season. That is not going to happen.
Zach Wilson is a special kind of suck.
Yeah, he's not good. He's not good.
Yeah, it's to the point, and let me, this is going to be a two-part question. One, I think the Jets have done a disservice to that defense, to their fan base, by staying with Zach and failing to go out and get. I don't give a shit what veteran you go out and get, bro. But there's got to be an old fart out there sitting out there that's a smart dude that won't get you at least in a whole bunch of trouble and will make one or two decent throws for you a game and won't give the goddamn game away, because that's what you do with this kid. And then here's the part two that I disagree with completely, dude. This kid's so fragile. The worst thing that happens is having Aaron Rodgers there, bro, because he's pressuring that he's coming back. The defense is playing his ass off. And that kid who can't handle the fire knows that the entire world, the weight of the world is on him, because the fan base wants you to keep the ship afloat until Rodgers can get back, which he really isn't. But whatever, the defense wants you to keep the ship afloat because they're playing their ass off, and the fans want you to do it. And yet he doesn't have the wherewithal to do this. I actually think Rodgers' presence is also a detriment to Zach. It doesn't actually help him. I think it hurts him, and it puts even more pressure on him having that presence there and everything going on, because now you have him off in the field telling the other guy, oh, no, I'll be back in a couple of weeks, which we know it's bullshit, but whatever. But for the two parts there, getting another quarterback is what you should have done. And then on the other side, the Aaron Rodgers shadow being present at all the time like that. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Wilson, he's been terrible this year. Okay, had the Jets have beaten the Chiefs that one night where he actually played reasonably well, that would have been a 30 for 30 documentary if they had found a way to win that game. Okay. But of course they didn't, because he fumbled a snap right in his hands and that ended the game. Look, I would say this. He is terrible. I mean, I think in my quarterback rankings, if he's not last, it's because there's some like third stringer who's behind him or something. I mean, he's rough. So how they didn't make a call to the Titans, hey, Ryan Tannehill, like, he's in the last year of his deal. Say whatever you want about Ryan Tannehill. He's Joe Montana compared to Zach Wilson, right? Yes. I mean, you make that phone call. I think, we saw Minnesota trade for Joshua Dobbs, give up nothing. They give up nothing. Call the Panthers. Andy Dalton, hey, look, would you do it? I mean, your season's in the tank. Like, would you make the trade? Jameis Winston, like, hey, what would it take? A fifth, sixth round pick? And I know there has been some theory of, well, maybe Aaron Rodgers wouldn't want another guy to come in. Who cares? Like, he's a quarterback. I mean, I've seen that float around. Like, well, maybe they were worried. That's crazy. The other part of this, as far as the way this whole thing's been handled by the Jets, you have a championship caliber defense, and you're just wasting it. Because, in my opinion, by the way, for the record, the reason I don't think they brought another quarterback is I really think they have the ego that they think they can fix Zach Wilson. Well, guess what? You're not fixing Zach Wilson. I think part of it is, too, is the second overall pick, and they can't admit that they whiffed on him. They whiffed. Right. He stayed. Move on. Yeah. As far as Rodgers, I don't
By the
know
way, that's the worst thing that a franchise can do
100%.
is continue to justify a pick.
Admit it, move on. Move on.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes. You know, the Niners, they traded Trey Lance. They're like, yep, whiffed on it. See ya. Bye. Go to Dallas. I think with Rodgers' presence, I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing he's there in Monday through Saturday. I think it matters, though, when he's out there whipping around passes, making sure he's getting a little bit of camera time. Okay. And let's be real. That's what this is. Okay. This is like, hey, I know that the cameras are on, and I'm going to go out there and throw the ball. And listen, he looks like he's ahead of schedule, but the reality is he's not playing this year. Like, I don't care how ahead of schedule he is. He tore his Achilles in mid-September. He's not coming back within 4 months. He could be Jesus Christ. He's not coming back within 4 months. Jesus.
Wait a minute. He could come back, but he's just going to come back to re-tear the bitch again, because the second you need to really plant and really pull away from a 300-pounder, that thing is just going to get shredded again. So if the Jets want to do the king-size stupid thing, bring him back so he could get re-injured again for next year, you go ahead and do it, bro. He won't be throwing the entire offseason, and he'll be rehabbing the entire offseason. And then you got a 41-year-old man with 2 Achilles injuries. Knock yourselves out.
They can't block. So, like, I mean, they still can't. What, they got 8 sacks with Will? Now, Wilson, I know, made a few of those on his own, but like, still 4, 5, 6 on the line. Like, Rodgers, listen, it's impressive. It's fine and well. I can throw the ball 55 yards in the air right now. But to your point, and I thought this exact same thing when I was watching the footage of this, that's great. That's not an NFL throw. Like, he's not driving off that ball. I mean, that's just, hey, look, I'm going to get up on my good foot and throw the ball 55 yards. And that's great. But, like, it is the idea that he's coming back for them is just crazy. Like, he's not playing this year, but they keep this hope alive. Like, well, maybe look at this throw. Look at that part of it's not helping anybody. It's not, except for Rodgers, who likes to kind of stir the pot, and that's fine. But, yeah, no, he's not playing again this season.
All right, so let's talk about the matchup, man. To me, Tyreek Hill has to be elite if you want to beat the elite. And the Dolphin defense played their asses off, bro. If I tell you you're limiting Kelsey to 14 yards, Mahomes only getting 14, and it's all in the first half, you're shutting him out in the second half. You're telling me, so what'd you win, by 10 or 15? Wow, the Chiefs sucked that day. No, they won. Huh? And so, the way I kind of looked at that game was neither team made plays. There were 180 yards each by each quarterback. Nobody threw for a lot of yards. There were only a few plays to be made. The few that were made, the Chiefs made the plays, offense and the defensive play. And Miami had a few, but they failed on those. The Tyreek bomb that was right in his hands, and he should have caught the second one too. That was a little behind. He still should have caught that. Just like I say, the bad one, he
definitely should have caught.
Yeah, the first one for sure. Yeah. The second one, I can even question it. And then, of course, the fumble. Okay, which that cost 7 right there. But you got to be elite in those moments, dude. And if you talked all that shit about you're going to be their worst nightmare, and that you wish it was at Arrowhead and all that other stuff, my brother, to me, it kind of, I know it's a team game, but I kind of have to kind of lay it all on Tyreek's feet, and say, yo, man, you wanted your revenge. They set the stage for you, and you just didn't come through.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think there's a lot of truth in that. Like, Tyreek Hill, along with Justin Jefferson when he's healthy, they're the best receivers in football. And if you're Tyreek, like, you have to make the game-winning play. He actually, I guess, well, in a sense, he did. He made it for the other team. But you've got to make the winning play. And listen, it's a great play by McDuffie, who's arguably the Chiefs' best defensive player right now. I mean, even with Chris Jones, McDuffie's been that good. Like, he made a great play, and they put it together and fine. My feeling walking out of that game was Miami defensively is getting to the point where we thought they could get to, which is a great sign for the Dolphins. The other side of it, though, that I felt was in 3 times now, and they've played really quality teams. They have not made the plays that they need to make to win those games, and the other teams have. Like,
you can punch Miami's offense in the mouth, and
they don't punch back. It's true. And that is, it's funny. So the one thing that gets lost in this game, so it's 21-0 at half. The Chiefs are controlling the game. And offensively, even in the first half, the Chiefs, it was very much in fits. They had 2 great drives, and they did nothing else otherwise. They had 200 yards, 14 points on offense, which in a half is solid, is good. Second half of the game, Miami did everything they could to shut them down. The Chiefs had a turnover. They had 46 yards of offense. They went into a shell. They did not play well. Miami defense, all the credit in the world. The drive that gets forgotten in the game was when they got the ball back down 21-14 next to last drive. Not the last one, but the next to last drive. They just scored 2 touchdowns. They got over midfield. They looked for all the world they were going to move in. And Mostert gets thrown for like a 6-yard loss on a pitch play. It was Mostert on a pitch play. And then the next play, the Chiefs brought one of their few blitzes of the day, and they sacked Tua. And now all of a sudden it's 3rd and forever, and you're not going to convert that. And you got to punt. That was an opportunity. And that's to my point, like the offensive line on 2 consecutive plays let them down. Mostert had no chance to get loose on that play. 3 guys were there to hit him. And then on the sack, 2 guys were there to sack him. And all of a sudden you're way back. And that goes to what we talked about before the game started last week. Miami's got to be more physical up front. They've got to be able to – I mean, Tua was sacked 3 times, but the Chiefs harassed him throughout the game. Like, you've got to be able – you don't even have to win, but you got to have a stalemate. You've got to be able to walk out of there going, hey, we played even. And that's been an issue.
This is why we have the argument down here. You follow football, bro. The flutter that he threw in the last drive for Wilson, that was a hot read.
It was.
There's no time to wait for a long play, dude. But see, that's the coach putting somebody in Cedric Wilson that wasn't playing as much, and you put him in a position where he had to make the right read as the quarterback. And instead of, it's one of those like you throw, you're in the motion of throwing the ball, and then the receiver makes another cut, and you're holding back, altering, and then the ball's going to come out all screwed up. And so that was a hot read, and he was supposed to catch it and go outside. Because one of the things I talked about in the pregame, even though Trent McDuffie's really good, he's 5'10". And if you've got Cedric Wilson, and I also said Chase Claypool, try to find the bigger player on the 5'10" corner. And sure enough, they did it for the Cedric Wilson touchdown. So I get what they were trying to do, but dude, you have to play Tyreek or Waddle in that position, so you can make those kind of things that, the pre-snap penalties, things like these are the kind of mistakes that are stopping them, not just the physical play that they can't punch somebody back in the mouth because let's also give the Chiefs some credit too. That's a hell of a defensive front you're facing. They're going to punch you in the mouth on a consistent basis. Sure. And that's where Miami has not answered to Buffalo, to Philadelphia, and to the Chiefs overall. But see, in that play there, that's a key decision that has to be made, and your players have to be on the right page. And right there, the coach put the wrong player for a key play in the game.
Well, and look, the national narrative around Kansas City is always because of Mahomes. It's always their offense. I got to tell you guys a dirty secret about Chiefs. The offense has been pretty average. The defense has been unbelievable. Like that, so you can make a real argument along with Baltimore. They have the best defense in football. The Chiefs have just dominated teams all year long. I'm pretty sure the only guy who's thrown for 200 yards this year against the Chiefs is Kirk Cousins, and he did on like 48 passes. Nobody throws on the Chiefs. They with McDuffie and Snead and that front, like they just get after you, and they spin a lot of coverages at you. Look, I think Miami in that game, and we talked about the physicality up front. The Chiefs did something that most teams don't even try to do against them. They played a lot of man coverage. They were willing to play man. Now, they doubled Hill. They doubled him throughout the game, but they were willing to get up there and just say, look, we're going to play physical at the line of scrimmage. We're going to try to reroute, take some time. Now, there's danger in that. And Hill had him beat on one of those balls, and he went through his hands. Okay, so there's danger there. The other thing that the Chiefs will do is they blitz, and when they blitz, they're very effective at it. That 4th down play at the end of the game, it's a snap Tua should field. It's also a snap. He's looking at the rush because they're bringing 7 guys. And he knows, like, I've got to get rid of this ball in about a second or I'm going to be out flat on my back. And I think that, that's the thought process when you blitz cover 0. Miami's defense, though, to go the other direction, was fantastic. Look, they got pressure all game long. They ran stunts. The Chiefs didn't handle it well. They covered well. They had a great plan for Kelsey. Pacheco was okay, but they weren't burned by Pacheco throughout the game. I mean, if you're looking glass half full, I think you'll walk out of this and say, okay, look, the defense now that it's healthy is getting to be a good unit. It's getting to be where we need it to be. And if you're Miami, you got 5 games coming up. You should win all 5 of them. I mean, these teams coming up, they should win every single one of these games. And then you get Dallas, big physical front, Baltimore leading the league in sacks, Buffalo, a team that beat you already, although certainly with some injuries now. Miami, the goal should be come out of the bye and handle these next 5 teams. That should be the goal. Get to 11-3, and then you know what? You find then you get a good hard 3 weeks worth of being tested before you get to the playoffs, where Miami will be. The Dolphins are capable of winning these games, but they've got to understand you can't make a couple of big mistakes against teams like this. Right. And if you've rooted for a good team or you watch good teams in your life, like you understand. One big mistake like that, like the Hill play that ended up going the other direction, the game's over. Like you can't spot a team like Kansas City 7 points. You just can't. That is a crushing blow, and it was obviously the winning play of the game.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. Now, on the flip side, I will say, if the offense can figure things out, the way that defense is played against a great offense and a great quarterback, and they did something to Travis Kelce that nobody does. Nobody slows down Travis Kelce that way, which, by the way, might be a little bit of a blueprint now, you think? Or do you have to have the personnel? I don't know how.
I'm always a big do you have the personnel to do it? Because you could have the blueprint all you like. I could have the blueprint of how to beat Usain Bolt in a 100-meter dash, but the reality of it is I don't have the foot speed to go do it. So, I think, look, Kelsey's been in the league a long time. Teams try to do it a lot. They can't do it. Miami, to their credit, did it. Give them a lot of credit.
Yeah, and by the way, they were talking about having Ramsey follow. They didn't have to do that. It was an interesting moving bracket that they did kind of with him. It's kind of depending on where he lined up, then different people had the responsibility. And Chubb, by the way, was very good. Chubb has actually really turned the corner in the last month. Because from the trade till about the first 4 or 5 weeks of this season, it was almost like he was stealing money, pretty much. But the last month, he has actually really, and again, you follow this. Once you add Ramsey to the mix and you have Ramsey and X, once you have 2 shutdown corners, that's why the Chiefs defense has been so good, because the secondary allows the front 7 to really get after people, and then you don't have enough time to go find somebody in that secondary.
Well, you know what? When you play the way the Dolphins want to play under Vic Fangio, they're not going to blitz a ton. You need to get home with 4 guys. You need to be able to get home with 4. They'll blitz occasionally. They blitz occasionally in that Chiefs game, but they're not going to blitz a lot. And that is true, by the way, like Cincinnati's defense is like that. Kansas City will blitz more, but even this year they haven't blitzed as much as they have in years past because they have a front that they don't have to blitz. They can get home with 4 guys. Like, when you can get home with 4, especially come January, you have a massive advantage. When you got to start sending the 5th guy and the 6th guy more than just here and there, now you got a problem. Because now you're in a position where, guess what? You're facing great quarterbacks, and those guys, they're going to find those one-on-one matchups, and they're going to beat you. I mean, they're just gonna. So Miami did a nice job. Like I said, I mean, when you can stunt and twist the way they did against Kansas City, that creates a lot of problems because it almost acts like a blitz. You have guys looking for work on both sides of them. It changes the scope, the picture a little bit. I think Miami's defense is going to be fine. I think Miami's defense is going to be a good defense. Right now, really, it sounds weird coming off a loss. The only real question I have about Miami is just when they play really good teams, and that offense gets thrown off schedule, and it's thrown off rhythm, and it's not a symphony all the time. Can they find a way? Because look, they run the Niners offense. And when the Niners are humming like that, they're unbeatable. They just roll teams. But when you knock them off script, we've seen Purdy the last couple. Now Tua's better than Purdy, but we've seen Purdy the last couple of weeks. It becomes a problem.
Right.
They have to accept the fact that in January, I don't care how good you are, you're going to be off script sometimes. You're just going to be. These teams are too good. They're going to take away your first read. They're going to double hill. They're going to take them out of the game to an extent. If Miami can figure that problem out, they're right there. But that's the thing they've got to work through in the next 2 months or so.
All right, let's get to the real issues going on here in this league. And, Madame Tussaud is obviously very known for her wax figures, and you go to any of her wax museums, and it's always impressive, right? What is going on with Madden and Mike McDaniel? What the hell is that?
It's not.
That's what's that? That's Mike McDaniel, like thinking he's on steroids, tough guy.
It's not good. It's not good. I mean, Mike McDaniel in person, who I've had the pleasure of chatting with a few times, is a pretty unique, engaging figure in NFL circles. That guy looks like he might be moving the chains any minute. Just throw a vest on him and call it a day.
He looks like an old curmudgeon coach or something. McDaniel is a slim guy who, by the way, dresses way better than that. You just gave him the regular football stuff, and he's always dressed in like high class shit, dude. His shoes cost more than my entire wardrobe, bro.
Yeah. Well, he also has that watch, right? He's got the watch.
He's styling. They have like a what is that?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
Representation here. I mean, these are important things that we have to tackle here in the NFL. You gotta. That's a misrepresentation of Mike McDaniel. It's like they're telling McDaniel, "Oh no, we don't want to put his actual physique. Let's make him look like a tough guy."
Yeah, I'm probably one of the few people in the world that's a football fan. I don't play a lot of Madden because I feel like the game's the same every single year. And so I just stopped getting it after 19 or 20. But this is part of the problem. Like you get it. How much money is at your disposal in Madden, right? I mean, let's face it. If you're EA Sports, like that's pretty much like, hey, that's our crown jewel, whatever it takes. Got to do better than Mike McDaniel looking like a borderline sumo power lifter who maybe gets dressed by his mom in the morning. It's not great.
Yeah, he's got an attitude problem or something. I mean,
it's not good.
It's not. There's nothing about it that's good. All right, what do you got going on Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out?
All 22 piece went out this morning. Broke down 3 pieces or plays around the league I thought were interesting and kind of insightful. Tomorrow, got the quarterback rankings coming out. Friday, matchups to watch for every game. Key matchups kind of in the weeds a little bit. And then Sunday, you got my column where we've got a running column, essentially, that goes on the front page of SI.com. You can check out throughout Sunday where I just give my thoughts on every game as they finish. So it's updated throughout the day, and you can just keep clicking back into it. It's a fun thing. I like writing about it, try to give some big picture insight right after the game ends. And then not that this is going to be published for a while because it won't be, but on Friday, talking with Larry Zonka. So that'll be fun. Zonk, maybe along with Marino and maybe the greatest Dolphin of all time. So
yeah, definitely right up there. Yeah, definitely. He's there with Jason Taylor and Zach and Marino and Zonk. Those are probably your top 4. Pretty much, right there.
No.
By the way, hey.
That's got to be worth money. It's got to be the only one in existence. There's no way anybody kept that. Jay Fiedler's family threw that out.
Yeah. I actually like him. He's such a good dude. Just a blue-collar guy. We all knew he wasn't the franchise guy, but, man, he was incredible dude. By the way, one thing before I let you go, were you as shocked as we were when Mostert is gouging the shit out of the Chiefs, and then McDaniel just outsmarts himself, and let me just start passing the ball, and it's like, dude, you've gouged him for 40 yards on 2 runs. What are you doing? You got all the time. You got all the timeouts. It's not like you didn't have any timeouts and you're afraid of being stopped in the middle of the field or something. Give me a break. Were you shocked that they didn't continue to run there?
I'd say I was surprised. I mean, look, I thought a big part of it was the Chiefs' defense was on the field the entire second half. I just thought at some point they were going to wear down. And I kept saying it throughout the game as the game was wearing on. I'm like, man, at some point Miami's speed is just going to be a problem here. I mean, the Chiefs they're out there. I mean, my God, the offense couldn't get a foot. So they had to keep punting. I was surprised when they crossed midfield at the 2-minute warning that the next couple of plays were not runs. I thought they did the Chiefs a huge favor by saying, we'll throw into your defense. That's the strength of the Chiefs. That is the strength. If you want to help Kansas City, throw at them. because they've been nails with it all year long.
Right. There you go. All right, Matt. We'll catch up next week, my friend. Enjoy the football. You be good.
Thanks a lot. Sounds good.
Thank you. Matt Verderam from Sports Illustrated. Don't forget, when we talk about Baptist Health, folks, Baptist Health, you don't need to be a professional athlete to go where the pros go. The doctors at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care can see you now. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to request an appointment and get yourself back in the game. If you have an injury that's keeping you from doing what you love, take charge of your health and get back into the game with the help of the all-pro staff at Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Use that QR code for Baptist Health. All right. Let's talk a little football. Let's get to our essential moving experts. Miami Dolphins exchange with the one and only Joe Shad.
It's time to talk Aqua and Orange. Miami Dolphins fans. Here's a man with incredibly high standards. In fact, he isn't impressed with Tyreek Hill's dominance, Jalen Waddle's speed, or even Teron Armstead's swag. It's the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking to move your home or business anywhere in the U.S. from coast to coast, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Let's talk football. Here's Joe Shad.
Here he is, locked and loaded. You get to rest this week, huh? Get to relax at home and write your stories from the house. How about that? Boys,
it'll be nice.
Couple days off for the boys, right? They're off for the next couple days?
Yeah, like the Dolphins, I'll be off Thursday through Sunday, so looking forward to spending some time with family and relaxing.
Yes, sir. All right. Chan looks like he's on target to return after the bye week, correct?
Yeah, he looked good. I mean, he traveled to Germany and looked good running around there. So, Achan on track, and that's good. I think he's averaging like 100 plus yards per game in his last 3 games. That's for sure.
Where do you stand with Mike McDaniel, where I think he's a fantastic young coach? I just think he has a lot to learn still. You know, for me, I ran out of patience with some of the other coaches in the past by their second year. I was like, okay, I kind of see this act and it's not a good one. I think this is a great act. I just think he's a young coach that has to tweak a couple things. And sometimes he outsmarts himself. And this week was a great example when you're gouging them with the runs by Mostert, and then all of a sudden you just go to those passes. And then the other part of that was, you know, the Braylon Sanders move last year against the Bills. You put the kid in a position and he stops his route. Tua throws a bomb that if he would have kept going, he probably would have had a touchdown, but the kid didn't know the offense. Well, you put Cedric Wilson this past week in a position where maybe he wasn't ready for and he didn't make the right read, and it was a hot read, and you got a pass rush, bro. You don't have time for long plays to develop. And that was to stop the clock and all that, and that was a mistake. And, you know, I blame it on Cedric, but really I blame it more on the coach for putting the wrong people sometimes in positions to really help you when they're not prepared, you know, to help you at times. And so to me, Mike McDaniel at times kind of outsmarts himself. He does some things that just don't make sense at times. And I know he's a fantastic mind and everything else. I just think there's still a some green in there in this situation.
So the question at the very beginning of that was, where do I stand on Mike McDaniel? So
yeah, do you think what faults do you see in him right now, if you see any? Put it that way.
Well, I just good timing. I just put out the mid-season report card on the Palm Beach Post website, and that includes coaching. And so the coaching staff, I gave a B+. Now I know that in the introductory segment, of this deal. You always say that I'm a tough grader. So do you think B plus is fair?
I think it's a super fair grade. I couldn't agree with you more. I think it's fantastic. If he makes some good decisions, it's an A. If Fangio was, the way they were now and healthy from the beginning of the year, then it's an A. So yeah, I love the grade. I completely agree with you.
So you can pull up all the grades and reveal some of them, and we can discuss them if you'd like. I'm sure you'll find a few too low and a few too high.
Specifically,
but
tell me stand with him on some of the decisions he makes at times.
Well, you criticized his decision to have Cedric Wilson on the field.
At that moment. At that moment.
Who would you prefer to have out there? You're going to have 3 receivers.
Waddle outside to make that. If I need to make a hot read decision, I need to know that the guy he's in sync with Tua completely.
I know Waddle had a banged up knee. Was he on the field? I'm assuming he was.
I'm sure he was, but my point is I need to use, he did that with Braylon Sanders in the Buffalo game. Like, why would you do that? Why would
so just to play devil's advocate, after the 2 runs by Mostert,
right,
you were thinking that they should run. So maybe the Chiefs would be anticipating a run. So, McDaniel, in my opinion, is a guy who's more likely. Can I finish my thought?
Wait a minute, but I just had Matt Verderame on before you. And he was just saying that if you're going to attack the Chiefs, you attack them with the run. If you attack them with the pass, you're playing right into their hands. And so, yes, I thought he should have continued to run. You had your timeouts, you had time, you had everything on your side to continue to run. I thought it was
so. The
terrible.
Dolphins are second in the NFL in rushing yards, and first in the NFL in yards per attempt. So I don't think that this is a situation where McDaniel deserves criticism for not running enough like he did last year. Certainly, they're running enough.
No, but
if you thought they were going to run, what can I finish? If you thought they would, can I talk?
Yeah.
If you thought they were going to run, and then the Chiefs maybe thought they were going to run, and maybe if Tua and Cedric are on the same page, that's actually a touchdown, and no one's talking about how that was a bad play.
But they weren't on the same page.
Cedric Wilson is a veteran receiver, and he's been with Tua long enough. It's not like he's Chase Claypool and he was just signed off the street or traded for.
He doesn't play much. He's been playing lately now that they used him.
He's been making big plays. He had a touchdown in this game, a key touchdown.
Yes, I know he had a key touchdown. That was part of my pregame analysis that I said attack Trent McDuffie with either Cedric or Claypool with the taller receiver because he's 5'10". That's exactly what they did. But my point is, in that key moment, if you know it's a hot read type situation, you better have the person that is on the same page with Tua. And
why wouldn't you think? But just to play devil's advocate, why wouldn't you anticipate that Tua Tagovailoa in his 5th year in the NFL, 4th or 5th year in the NFL, and Cedric Wilson, a veteran receiver with plenty of practice reps, why would you think that they wouldn't be on the same page? I was totally fine with that play.
Okay, all right, but obviously Cedric Wilson was not on the same page. He did not make the right decisions, so that falls on the coach. You put the wrong person in there. I'll give you another one. You do the tape stuff all the time. Has Durham Smythe been a consistent blocker, or have you seen him miss several blocks this year?
Yeah, so if you look at the grades, I just gave, I think, the lowest score of all position groups to tight end, C-. And Smythe does not have good blocking metrics. I think that he's a solid blocker, but if you're not going to use the tight end as a target in this offense, which obviously it's not a target, it needs to be a very strong blocking position. And Pro Football Reference metrics, other website blocking metrics are not very strong for Smythe.
Okay, so why would the coach put him in front of Tyreek to block Trent McDuffie, and he can't even block a 5'10" corner who then strips Tyreek Hill? Again, that's Mike McDaniel.
Yeah, and the other option is The other option is Julian Hill,
and Durham
who
Smythe has constant
is an
screw.
undrafted rookie from Campbell. So,
Then don't call that play. You know what I'm
the
saying?
Tyreek Hill one was interesting. Did you think that there was a chance that his momentum might have been stopped?
I think Durham Smythe was the reason why it happened. You blame Tyreek in the end because he fumbled it, but Tyreek did not stand a chance because the guy in front of him did not do his job to give Tyreek a little space so Tyreek can do his thing. He allowed Trent McDuffie to go right through him and get right into Hill's face and then cause the turnover. And Trent McDuffie.
So just to continue to play devil's advocate, your criticism is why was Smythe on the field, or why would you ask Smythe to make a key block? I mean, he is there to make a key block. He has had many good blocks this season, especially in the running game.
And he's had a lot of screw-ups too. That's my problem with Smythe. He has screwed up a lot this year in the blocking. I've watched it. He has missed blocks a lot this year. And so it's somebody that I would not trust in that situation. And that's what I'm trying to get to with Mike. Mike sometimes outthinks himself and he gets too cute. Instead of, brother, kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. You're gouging them. Their weakness is against the run, not against the pass. Keep doing it, bro. You just got 40 yards on 2 carries. You have your timeouts. If they stuff you, then okay, use a timeout. You've got extra timeouts. Then you can regroup. But after you've gouged them twice in a row, I kind of would have gone after that. That's why, to me, that's the one area that I think Mike needs to grow in. His decision-making isn't as consistent as it needs to be.
Well, I think the more fair criticism is play calling speed, especially on the road.
That's another one.
The Dolphins need to get the plays in quicker when they're in a loud environment to give Tua the best chance to succeed. And I'm sure Mike would tell you that. He's been better in his second year as a play caller. It's only the second year ever as a play caller. But that's the one thing the Dolphins really need to clean up is the pre-snap stuff and getting ready to play faster on the road in loud environments.
And we have to be fair to give him the small break of he has taken on the monster of wanting to be the head coach and the offensive coordinator, which is just...
we want him to be. We want him to be. He needs to be.
I know, but it's a bitch to do both. You know what I mean? It's a lot easier to just be the head coach and have an offensive and defensive coordinators and delegate that responsibility. And then that allows you to oversee the whole thing and kind of, but when
I want this guy calling the plays.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not saying not to do it. I'm just saying it's an extra burden that it becomes a harder job for him to overcome. That's all I'm saying. That the learning curve for him, it's a little harder for him, in other words, than just being a coordinator, because he really has to worry about everything else too at times.
I think he's going to be fine. Mike McDaniel is very low on my list of worries. Left guard is more of a concern. Left guard is more of a concern.
What'd you think of Eichenberg?
Honestly, because of the flights and everything, I did not study the film. And I didn't have access to the live television broadcast. So I don't know. You tell me, honestly, did he get beat a few times or not that you could see on the television copy?
I don't remember him getting beat too badly.
Okay.
I do remember this. The 2 long runs at the end. He had 2 key blocks on those runs. Okay. And
he's going to be improved. He's an improved player.
Yeah, Connor Williams made a beautiful second level block on the second run.
Do you want him ahead of Lester Cotton, Kendall Lamb, if you want to try him at guard? I don't know. Because it looks like Rob Jones will be out a little while. Isaiah Wynn's out for a while.
I don't think Kendall Lamb moved at all to guard. But the other ones could be an option. Lester is a molester when it comes to running. He gets on your ass, dude. I mean, I gotta give him.
Cotton played ahead of Eichenberg just a few games ago, right? When both were healthy. Yeah. So that tells us something.
Cotton's issue is pass pro in his reaction, but then again, that happens to Eichenberg too. Eichenberg can pass pro, but it's him reading and reacting is his problem and making sure. But in this game, Now, again, it was just a short amount of time that he played, so he didn't play nearly as much, but he actually didn't play bad. I will say that from what I have not rewatched the whole thing yet. I probably will today, actually. I'll have some time finally to watch it. But yeah, I thought he did all right, actually. I was impressed. One of the things
he has reasonable athleticism, and there's probably a part of him that was relieved to play a position he's more comfortable with.
Yeah. And we have to give these coaches credit, bro. These guys can coach the offensive line, Joe. I mean,
I gave the offensive line a B.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus.
Fair?
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay.
Hell yeah. I mean, Joe.
So you agree with me. You like my grades. You guys check out the grades on the website and tell me which one is too low or high.
Joe, you've never covered a Dolphins team with this many linemen that are actually productive. You know,
B is the highest midseason grade I've had in 8 years.
You're covering a Dolphins team that can put a starting unit out, and they have some backups that are actually capable backups that can do the job. That's unheard of for us down here in Miami, bro.
The off target snap disturbs me because we talked about it.
I blame two on that one. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, he should have caught it. Yes. He should have caught it. Yes, he should have caught it.
Wait a minute.
But it was to his right. He's looking to see where the blitz is coming from. There's a lot going on. Mike McDaniel explained it after the game. Yes, Tua takes responsibility, but so too does Connor Williams. He's got to get that snap better.
I get that, but
in a key spot, man.
Look,
key spot.
The throw was all on Cedric. Had nothing to do with Tua. Tua made the right read. It was a hot read. Boom, he got rid of it. He's going after it. He's got a brutal pass rush. He made the right read there. Here, I'm blaming 98% of it on Tua. Yeah, I know Connor went to the side.
I don't know about 98%. Did you see where the ball was? Left-handed quarterback, and the ball's out here on the other side of his body.
Okay, no. Let me. He's caught the lowest ones on the floor, and he's caught the ones up above his head, and he's completed the pass after that. So I'm the Tua lover here. I'm the Tua backer. He's got to catch that. I'm sorry. It's his problem. He has to pay attention to the snap and the blitz and everything. That's his damn job. And it was to his right. The low ones and the high ones are way more impressive that he catches, and he still completes the pass. So
I don't know.
Sorry
I think
for that one.
Look, I don't know. I haven't played quarterback and I haven't been a center, but he has made some impressive catches on snaps that are high and low. I agree. But the one to the right for left-handed quarterback on a fourth down with the game on the line and the blitz coming, and you're trying to – that's a tough play.
Well, remember,
Connor Williams has got it. Connor Williams – listen, we haven't spoken to Connor Williams, okay? We didn't have two folks to go in the locker room in Europe, all right? It was only one person, understandably, from each media organization. Tua said, it's my responsibility. I'm sure that Connor Williams would say, I got to give a better snap. So I'm sure.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, listen, Connor was damn good in that game, bro. You know,
if overall, you can just not.
Yeah.
And it was at the worst moment. You know, it's one thing if it's 2nd and 3 in the second quarter.
Right. No. Can't argue with that. You're 1,000% right on that. You know? Yeah. What are you going to do at that point? Rob Hunt is set to come back too after the break too, right?
I don't know, but it was a hamstring, and he was running in Germany after the injury, so probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Which will be good. It'd be good to have Armstead, Williams, Hunt, and Austin Jackson, who is deserving of a reasonable contract extension.
Yeah, Austin Jackson, dude, the pillar of stability on the offense. He went from.
I told you he was going to be better. I told you. You kept asking me, Austin Jackson. I said, I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah. I mean, again, that's why I say we have to give these coaches love, dude. All of them.
I actually mentioned Butch Berry. I mentioned 3 coaches.
Butch, Frank, and Mike. They
and I didn't mention Danny Crossman because I gave special teams, I believe, a C- or D. Okay, not good enough.
No.
Not good in field goals. Not good in punts. Not good in coverage. Not good enough at all.
Joe, he has no business to be employed. He should have been fired last year. He should have been fired. I wouldn't have fired Josh Boyer. Now, you have to fire.
That was the right decision.
I wouldn't have fired Josh Boyer, but you have to because you found Fangio. But if you didn't have Fangio, I didn't have a real problem with Josh Boyer with all the injuries he had last year. I thought he did a damn serviceable job with that defense. But Danny Crossman has done nothing, dude. I have seen nothing from that guy. At least Josh Boyer had a shit ton of adversity that he had to overcome, and he did it at times. He was able to do some stuff with what little he had. With Crossman, I've never seen anything from him to keep him. I don't know why they even kept him.
I mean, do you blame the players? Right. So Jake Bailey is a below average league punter. Jason Sanders is a below average league kicker who has 0 field goals from 50 plus this year. Braxton Berrios has been fine, but his punt and kickoff return average is below his career average.
Yeah.
They had a key punt blocked, right?
Yeah, I don't know the Jason Sanders thing. I don't know how you keep a guy that can't hit a 50-yarder in this league. You can't do that anymore. You cannot in the NFL. 50, 55-yarders are common field goals. When
He's got 4 field goals from 50 plus in 3 years.
Dude, when you and I were kids, when somebody hit a 52-yarder,
Yeah,
we used to go,
Matt Barr, yeah.
whatever. Wow, dude, that guy hit a 52, 53-yard. Now, a 52
John
or
Casey.
50-yarder is nothing. You're supposed to make those now.
Alindo Mare.
Yeah, right. You know, when that would happen, we would freak out. Nowadays, forget it, dude. You got to be able to. They want you to.
They passed on one, right? Did they pass on a 50-ish, right, field goal? 57 or 56. They passed. They have 0 confidence in his ability to make a 55, 56-yarder.
And now
0.
in the NFL, they want you to take. They want you to be able to make those late 50s to early 60-yard field goals. That's crazy, dude. The way they are now in the NFL. All right, what do you got going on in the Palm Beach Post during a slacker week for you?
It is. I want you to read the Miami Dolphins grades. I gave Tua Tagovailoa a B+. I gave the running backs a B+. I was disappointed at the defensive back research. Without Jalen Ramsey, I gave the group a C. They've given up too many passing yards, too high in opposing completion percentage, too high in opposer passer rating percentage, and they have no interceptions. So a lot of stars back there. Javon Holland's been good, but X and Kohu should be better now that Ramsey's in the mix. Dolphins defense is going to be much better if those guys are all healthy.
You have the combination of the 2 guys that can cover and then the pressure guys, and Jalen now is turning the corner. He's had 3 sacks in three games.
I think a B for the edge rushers.
Yeah, and Chubb has really turned the corner in the last 5 games.
He's been great.
You know, he's been fantastic. And so what he did this week with the tight end with Kelsey and all that, helping that out, it was awesome. It was really fun to watch the way they designed that defense against Kelsey. I think the better part of the defense is coming now, because now you have the coverage and the rushers getting to that point. The part of the defense that I still
linebacker pass coverage.
Yeah, and in the middle
linebacker pass coverage.
Yeah, and I need you to be more stout against the run in the middle a little bit more. But the linebackers,
Raekwon Davis. Raekwon Davis has all the physical tools, but it just hasn't come together. He's not been as impactful as we had hoped.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, follow him on Twitter at Shad Joe. Joe, enjoy your week, my brother. We will catch up next week, my friend. Thank you for the time.
See you, Big O.
You got it. There you go. The great Joe Shad. And, of course, when we talk about essential moving experts, we talk about the great Sean Williams. He knows how to get it done, baby. He's been doing it for a long time. Folks, they've got over 1,700 happy customers that have filed in a complimentary response to their experience, because moving was never so easy. They give you flat rates. You know, a lot of moving companies, they give you ballpark figures. Yeah, we'll do it for $4,000 or $5,500. Well, what is it? Is it $4,000? Is it $4,400? Is it $4,700? Nah, we'll do it for $1,000 to $1,700. Well, which one is it? And that's not how they do it there. They give you a flat rate. So if they tell you they're going to do it for $500 or $1,500 or $2,500 or whatever, how big the job is, that's the rate you're going to get. And it doesn't matter what you need to move, from one end of the country to the other, from one state to another, inside your county, inside your city, inside your neighborhood. It doesn't matter. You call Essential Moving Experts. They know how to get it done. 386-213-4054. That's 386-213-4054. Call Sean, call Brooke, call the amazing people at EssentialMovingExperts.com.
You've been listening to the Essential Moving Experts Miami Dolphins Exchange with Joe Shad. When you're looking for local, home, long moving services or office relocation, call Essential Moving Experts at 305-602-8369. Flat rates and no surprise charges. EssentialMovingExperts.com. Call 305-602-8369. Miami Dolphins fans, follow Big O Radio Show on all platforms to keep up with your favorite NFL team.
Finn's rule there says that snap was on Tua. And the reason I say that is, okay, so if I tell you that Tyreek should have caught that bomb, well, why can't I tell you that Tua should have caught that ball? It's his job, dude. It's his job to pay attention. He's calling. He has the silent snap going, so he knows it's coming. And so if you have to pay attention to the blitz or whatever, bro, you need to pay attention to the ball. And it was to your right. And it hit your hands. And I've seen you catch the ones above you that you have to get on your tippy toes. I've seen you catch the ones all the way down on the floor. And I've seen you complete those passes over and over again. So Connor got it a little to the right. Catch it, dude. Catch it. Sorry. That's the way it's going to go. And I'm the Tua guy here. Nobody is a bigger supporter of Tua or believer than I am. Okay? I am the president of Tuanon for the media. If there's a Tuanon media, I don't know. I doubt there is. But if there's a Tuanon media, clearly I am the man. I'm the president of the Tuanon media. But I'm not giving Tua a break on that one. Catch it, bro. That's your responsibility. That wasn't that bad of a snap. I've seen Connor Williams snap way worse than that. Get it. All right? Because that's the only way I can demand that Tyreek catch that bomb that would have been points. So, what can I tell you? Big O, I'm agreeing with you. That snap should have been caught by... He has to. He has to. Chubb has elevated his status from being the Dolphins' Kyle Lowry. He was. That's a good one, Lenny Pena. Look at Joe Shad with his fair grading. I'm impressed. He is. Those were all fair grades by him. I got to tell you. Yep. Joe Shad is always your best conversation. Both of you know your stuff, and I like your back and forth informed points of disagreement. That's the idea. Joe seems like such a good dude. He is. He's a nice dude, bro. He's a good person. We've seen Tua catch harder snaps. Yeah, man. Yeah. I love Tua, but that was on him. Just like the Cedric Wilson thing. Anybody that blames it on Tua, you don't know what you're talking about, bro. You have no idea. You don't really follow football. You don't really understand the situation, everything going on. That was the right pass that he made. It was the receiver that made the wrong decision. It's just Tua's never going to throw somebody else under the bus. That's not what he does, dude. He's a classy guy, you know? Let's see. Big O, it seems to me the Heat are hoping that Bam and Hero take the mantle with Butler stepping up in big games into the playoffs. Jayhawk, if the Heat are ever going to do anything, you know, the reason why they haven't gotten over that hump and they get close, it's because Jimmy doesn't have that other star next to him to elevate the team. And we've been waiting for Bam or Tyler to do it. We don't even know if they can. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Tyler can, but I know Bam can. Bam just doesn't have it in his DNA to be a son of a bitch, to get selfish, to demand to be great. You know what I'm saying? And that's his problem. Daytona International Speedway, Rockville has just announced. Wow. Let's see what we got here.
because this is a little away from me. Let's see. Here we go. Pull it up on the phone here. So, Rockville has announced their lineup for May 9th through the 12th at Daytona Beach. Thursday, Motley Crue, Judas Priest, Anthrax, Dirty Honey. Yeah, baby. Disturbed, Mudvayne, Skillet, Machine Head. I'm just picking out some of the Kerry King's band. By the way, NorCal, if you're watching, Kerry King's band will be here at Rockville. Remember, I sent you that thing about Kerry King's band? There it is. They're going to be performing at Rockville, that is. That's pretty good. And a bunch of other bands. Friday, it's Limp Bizkit, Falling in Reverse, In This Moment, Non-Point, Jelly Roll, The Offspring, Living Color, Alien Ant Farm, Mr. Bungle, Nitzer Ebb. Holy shit. That is awesome. In Flames, New Year's Day. Okay. Then on Saturday, Foo Fighters, Greta Van Fleet, Primus, Mammoth, Queens of the Stone Age, A Day to Remember, Stone Temple Pilots, The Struts, Cypress Hill, Clutch, and then on Sunday, Slipknot, Breaking Benjamin, Evanescence, Sum 41, Black Veil Brides, Dead Poets Society. And there you go. A whole bunch of other bands. I just didn't read all of them, but just to read some of them. Hell of a lineup. I want to go to Rockville next year. I really want to go to Rockville. Damn. Wow. It's crazy, dude. That's fantastic. Love it. All right. Joe deserves an apple. He's a good dude, bro. Let's see. Note the offseason. Hopefully there will be more investment in tight end position. Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not going to solve everything in a couple of trips like that. So, yeah, I'm sure they'll work on trying to. They tried to get a tight end this year. I've given you the clues in the past already. Okay? So, they wanted a certain tight end. And he's playing very well, the guy they wanted. In fact, I think he might make it as a Pro Bowler, as a rookie. So, I don't know if you could figure it out now. But, yeah, he's played very well, the guy they wanted. They ended up with Cam Smith because the guy was taken before. But that's what I'm told. Those are the rumblings that I'm hearing. So for those of you that don't think, they had a tight end target. But the guys they want, they will specifically target them. It's not, So we have intelligent people sometimes in the chat board. That's all I can say. Big O, I was called a snowflake on Facebook because they blame Tua for the loss. Well, those people don't know. They don't know sports. Green Lion, Mastodon. Yes, what about Mastodon? Oh, I didn't see Mastodon on that list if you're asking. No. And I like Mastodon. Big O, I think while you've been too hard on McDaniel, I can agree that improvement is needed, but I believe he will. With Mario, I feel, with Mario, I have almost no hope now. Because Ecuador, he's hard-headed. He's set in his ways. It's Mike Munchak. I'm telling you, I'm freaking watching Mike Munchak coach the Canes. An offensive lineman who has his conservative nature and is in love with the running game. I'm telling you. So, yeah, I have all the faith that McDaniel will fix things and he'll figure it out. But he's still pissing me off. He's still, abandoning the run. There are still mistakes being made pre-snap.
He's still putting people that don't belong in certain places in positions in key moments, and you should not be counting on them. Durham Smythe should not be counted on making a key block until he proves he can consistently block. And Cedric Wilson should not be the receiver in a go-to moment with the game on the line. You want to throw it to him in the second or third quarters, that's fine. I can go with that. But with the game on the line and there's a hot read, that's not the guy you go to. Bad coaching. You know, if we're going to be fair and give him credit when he does great things, we have to be fair and say, hey, he's not doing this the right way. Let's see. Big O, that first round pick that the owner cost us could have been used as a tight end or guard. Yeah. And we lose a third rounder next year, right? Isn't it like that? First this year, third next year. So yeah, these assholes cost us a couple of picks, and these guys, and we have actually a front office that can draft. Luckily, we also have a front office that can find undrafted free agents that can make some great trades, low-hanging fruit. So we're pretty fortunate in that sense that we have a front office that knows what the hell they're doing, and they can overcome even the owners screwing things up. Sounds like I will be at Rockville again this year. I call it Rockatona since the move. Oh, Daytona, Rockatona. I got it. I like it. I want to go. What a lineup, dude. Holy shit. A Mario guy was super happy when we got him, but I'm starting to get worried. So am I, bro. I'm with you. I'm a huge Mario guy, and I'm thinking, wow, you did not do a good job on that one because he's not looking good. And I don't think he'll change. See, McDaniel is smart. He evolves. You can tell that he's that kind of dude. Mario doesn't look like one that evolves. He looks like he is like set in his ways, dude. You know? And that he knows how to do things one way, and that's how he knows, and that's what he's going to do. And you know, I don't know. Mario has got me thinking that this is not the guy. But let's wait another year or two, and we'll see if he figures things out. Big O, would you consider Zach LaVine from the Bulls a good star to have by Butler? Let me see. What's his let me look at his stats, because from what I remember, I don't think he's that consistent of a shooter, right? I know he's improved, but let me see a second, because I don't know where he's at right now stats wise. I know he's an electric player. He's got a ton of athleticism. He can score points. Let me see here. Let me see. He's averaging 22 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 41% field goal shooting. Yeah, 32% shooter by 3. No, dude. He did shoot 37 and 38 the last couple of years, which is way better. But he's at 32 right now, and he's shooting 41%. He shoots 47, 48. He has a 46% shooting percentage for his career, which I don't think is good enough. Although 3 points, he's not bad. His career is 38.3. He's not doing good this year. So it's actually better than I expected. But this year he's actually not shooting. Now it's only 8 games in. So, And then the other thing is he has too many injuries. Here's Zach LaVine. 77, 82, 47, 24, 63, 60, 58, 67, 77, and 8. He at least played 77 last year, but before that, 67, 58, 60, 63. Nah, not interested. I'm not interested in another guy that's going to miss. The reason why you were a lower seed, it's because Jimmy Butler takes too many days off.
And remember, they're 0-1 on the rest. And we'll see on this road trip where that record goes now. Okay? So they're 0-1 so far on there. Big O, check out my brother's band, Trapped. They just put out a new song. My Device is getting to release the new album this fall. Trapped. Aren't they like a legitimate band? This is not like a local band, right? How come I feel like I've heard of that band? There it is. What's it called? My Devices. Okay. Oh, here it is. My Devices. I got it. Okay. All right. Kind of mellow to start. Okay. I don't know. Would we get tagged if I'm listening to this in the background like this? Huh? All right. I'll check it out. I got it saved here. I got it saved, so I'll check it out. Okay. Trapped. Something tells me why do I feel like I've been somewhere where that band was performing as an opening act or something? It just seems like I've been to a concert where that band was there. Sounds familiar. I don't know why. But I've gone to a crap ton of concerts with a whole bunch of bands opening up. I can't remember all the opening acts, to be quite honest. I think we should let Mike coach the way he wants to, not the way we want him to coach. If anyone thinks they can do a better job, they should apply. Miguel, that's a silly statement, my brother. Nobody does everything perfect, and you can question a lot of shit that goes on. And so, when you make a mistake, that's kind of what it is. You talk about it, and he has made several mistakes. Just because he's got a supremely gifted mind, just because he's an innovative offensive coordinator, doesn't mean he's a perfect head coach. So, plenty can be criticized. Levine is a developed hero, and if I'm correct, his fourth quarter stats weren't that great. Yeah, from what I'm seeing, and he doesn't play enough. I wouldn't trade for Zach Levine. If anyone thinks Zach Levine will be a great addition and put us in a championship realm, you'd be severely disappointed. Yeah, I would agree with that. He's more of an athlete than he is a great basketball player. Big O, speaking of Butler, I think you already mentioned that a trade between the 76ers and Miami would make sense because of Philly, some of the value from that jackass Harden trade. Right, exactly. And that's what you should do. You should probably do it. Big O, do you think the Miami Dolphins could win their next 3 games after their bye week? It's against the Raiders, the Jets, and the Commanders. Of course they can. How about this? They better. You need to win all those games because you want to make sure you have home field advantage, my man. Okay? You got to have it. Brother, Polygon is up nearly 12%. It's almost hitting 80 cents. It's at 79.22. That is awesome. And Link is about to hit $14. It's up $8.62. Illuvium! Woo! It's up 25%, up to $78. Yeah. I says, yeah. Give me a hell's yeah. And if you got into Illuvium when I kept pointing out to you that it was down at $38, $39, $40, and it's now at $78, you're about to double your money in your investment. Illuvium was at like almost $2,000. And it's at 78 right now. That is freaking awesome. I love alluvium. I'm an alluvium guy. That's all I can tell you. It is going parabolic. It's been moving for a while. For the last week or two, it's been moving in a really nice direction. Gotta tell you, folks, man, those of you that are in the crypto sphere with us, you are loving life. I can tell you that, because right now it is moving. Yeah, and my man Jeff just sent me that Greta Van Fleet is headlining at Rockville. I've seen Greta Van Fleet as an opener at Rockville, so it'll be cool to see him as a headliner at Rockville, which is amazing. That is fantastic. I love it. Up there with Foo Fighters. Now they jump Primus. That's impressive, man. That's really, really impressive. By the way, what's the market doing? Oh, wow. Crypto's pumping, but the Dow is down 115 points. NASDAQ's up about a half a point, and the S&P's down 12 points. Wow. Man, the stock market has taken a beating. Crypto's tearing it up, and the stock market is taking a beating. Let's get to, before our 3A graphics, and I got to tell you something the Dolphins need to add that is very, very important. Let's get to our music and entertainment section. First of all, let's get to some birthdays today. Got a bunch of stuff here today on the entertainment side. Let me see here. Where are we at? Okay, here we go. Birthdays today on November 8th. We start off with SZA, the R&B singer, is 34. Gordon Ramsay is 57. Pooh Shiesty, rapper, is 24. Have no idea who he is. I've never even heard of him, but it's such a cool name. I had to just mention it for the hell of it. Nick Mara is some pop singer. He's 26 from the iconic Boys album, a Boys band, which, again, don't know who it is. Don't really care, to be quite honest. Tech N9, the rapper, is 52. Sean, Keith Lee, wrestler, is 39. I got 2 thumbs up there. Wow. Never heard of him, but we'll go with it. Minnie Riperton, the soul singer, was born on this date in 47, passed away in 79. Laura Elaine, country singer, is 29. Jack Osborne, Ozzy's son, is 38 years old. Parker Posey, movie actress, is 55. David Muir, the journalist, is 50. I'm sorry. I'm adding 5 years to the poor man. Jeffrey Jordan is 35. Tara Reid, actress, is 48 years old. Those are some of the birthdays celebrating today. And in music history, in 1975, on this date, David Bowie made his American television debut when he performed Fame on the Cher TV show. In 87, to generate footage for their documentary Rattle and Hum, U2 played a free Save the Yuppie concert in San Francisco. An arrest warrant was issued for Bono after he spray painted "Rock and Roll Stops Traffic" on a fountain sculpture at the event. In 2008, AC/DC started a 2-week run on the top of the album charts with Black Ice, the group's 15th record. In 71, on this date, Led Zeppelin released their 4th album, Led Zeppelin Quattro. Whenever you're on a date, make sure you play the B-side of Led Zeppelin 4. In 86, Metallica performed their first live concert with bassist Jason Newsted. In 80, Bruce Springsteen started a 4-week run at the #1 spot on the album charts with The River, his first U.S. #1 album. In 2001, Limp Bizkit and Gorillaz
were the big winners at the MTV Europe Music Awards. Limp won for Best Group and Best Album, while Gorillaz scored trophies for the Best Dance Group and Best Dance Song for Clint Eastwood. And that's what happened today in Musica Historia. Got that? Now, we got a couple of news and notes in music. Iron Maiden's Bruce Dickinson, the lead singer. All right. Well, now you can add actor because, he's an author, he's a pilot, he's a singer, beer brewer, all that good stuff. So he has now signed up to appear in a new horror film. It's written by his son, former Rise to Reign as Lions frontman Austin. According to an exclusive news story from Deadline, the 65-year-old vocalist has signed up to star in Bjorn of the Dead, written by co-producer Austin Dickinson, based on the original story by Andrew Pendergrast, who produces, and Austin Dickinson. Due to start filming next year, the film will be directed by Elza Kephart, with Raven Banner handling worldwide sales. The film apparently revolves around an ABBA tribute band, Abbator, who finds themselves with various other tribute acts, trapped in a nightclub at the outset of the apocalypse. Frontman Bjorn and his bandmates are then tasked with saving themselves, humanity, and the future of music as the undead seek to eat their brains. Pendergrast tells Deadline, "We are thrilled to be making this blood-drenching gore fest from Austin's super funny, terrifying, cautionary tale about the inner workings of the music industry. I'm absolutely honored to be working with Raven Banner on this crazy adventure," adds Austin Dickinson. "And myself, we can't wait for guys to see what's in store. Get your spandex on, preen your wigs, and sharpen your axes. Bjorn is coming." That's some wild shit. But you'll do anything for your kids, right? So that's kind of what we're doing. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less, ladies and gentlemen. What else do we have on the music front and entertainment front? William Shatner, by the way, will be performing tomorrow at the Broward Center at 7 o'clock for you Trekkies out there. Bill Burr, if you want to laugh, Thursday, Hard Rock Live, 8 o'clock. Friday at the Revolution Live at 7 o'clock is Sexy Red. There's only one question I have. Don't you have to be sexy in order to be called Sexy Red? Anyway. Enrique Iglesias, Pitbull, and Ricky Martin will be performing at the Kaseya Center on Saturday at 7 o'clock. The Fix will be performing at the Culture Room. That'll be Friday the 10th. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Enrique Iglesias, they'll be on Friday and Saturday. It's 2 nights. Friday at the Culture Room, you can catch the Fix. You can catch me there. I will be at the Culture Room with the wife, seeing the Fix on Friday. You can also see the Ocean Blue. I wanted to really go see the Ocean Blue over at Club Space, but I'm going to go to the Fix instead because the Fix is one of my favorite bands of all time. Saturday, Christopher Cross will be at the Broward Center at 8 o'clock. Be careful if you go to Christopher Cross. Do not be shocked if he doesn't sing some of his hits with a lot of enthusiasm. I'm just saying. Anyway, it's kind of been my experience last time. And, one more thing. Do not be late to Christopher Cross concerts. He plays some of his hits early. You think he'll play them late? I'll give you an example. It's another little nugget that I learned going to Christopher Cross concerts. Okay? One that I wasn't very impressed the last time I went. But I'm going to pull up setlist.fm for you. Okay? There's, it's this mind of mine always has the most useless facts that you could use out there. But let's see, in Houston, nobody put in the set list. Let's go to Dallas. They put it. All Right was his first song. Never Be the Same. I Really Don't Know Anymore. Baby, It's All You. Sailing was the 5th song. So Never Be the Same and Sailing already right there. And even All Right is another one of his. Arthur's theme song was the 9th song. Okay? He left Ride Like the Wind towards the end, the 15th song. But remember what I told you. He'll play some of his hits early on. Do not be late to a Christopher Cross concert. Brother, the shit that I give you guys constantly, tell you, I provide a service here. Let's see. What else do we have? John Waite. If you're missing him, then you can go to the Parker Playhouse Saturday at 8 o'clock and you can catch him. Jason Bonham and the Led Zeppelin Experience on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Let's see. Bruce Hornsby, Sunday, Parker Playhouse, 8 o'clock, UM Zone. Next Tuesday, I will be at the Revolution Live with the wife. We will go to see Phoenix. Woo ha! Singing hallelujah. Pray to your God. What was it? Top of the Loop. So I'll be there seeing Phoenix. Love Phoenix, bro. Love Phoenix. Terrific band. That's Tuesday the 14th and Wednesday the 15th. If you want to see an athletic woman who puts on one hell of a show and has got some serious pipes, Pink will be at FLA Live, or what's it called now? The Amerant Bank Arena, November 15th. That's Wednesday. That's a week from today. All right. There you go. True Fin Fan says he just farted and it smells like turkey again. So that's all. You've been eating a lot of turkey, bro. Nothing but nuggets from the Big O. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Big O, did you see the report about Steven Tyler being accused of sexual assault? Yeah, see, here's my problem with all these sexual assault. Like if it, and this is where we're a terrible society. We don't listen to women when it happens. But nowadays, it's so bad that you can't believe anybody because you need proof. And so here's my problem. Then you can accuse anybody of something 10, 20, 30, 40 years later. But, man, if you're going to do that, you got to have some proof because you're going to create all kinds of problems. So is it a money grab or did it really happen? And because there are so many women that are gold diggers and are just con artists, now we can't believe these kind of things anymore right off the cuff. So if you're going to, I saw the Steven Tyler story. And look, dude, Steven Tyler's not a good person. I can tell you that for a fact that he's not a good person. So would I be surprised that he sexually assaulted somebody? No, I would not be. Okay, he's been known to be a king-size a-hole. That's a fact about Steven Tyler. But if you're going to accuse somebody, bro, have video, have pictures. And I know if we're talking 20 and 30 and 40 years ago, it's going to be impossible. But everybody's in an impossible position because what do you believe? To be fair, then you can accuse anybody of anything and have no proof. That can't happen either. And it's the worst thing because we're such a terrible society and we have shamed women because of this, because we end up, criticizing them, saying they're gold diggers when it could have happened, or they get, they have to live the embarrassment over again if they were sexually assaulted, and then they have to live it over in the court, and then it gets covered, and then it gets put out in the media, and then they're living it in public, and all. So women stay quiet. It's a catch-22, dude. It's this, it's different, but it's the same thing that we have going on in the Middle East right now. We know there's innocent Palestinians. We know that. Everybody knows that. But we also know there are guilty Palestinians that are siding with Gaza, and then Gaza's a terrorist group. And then what do you expect Israel to do? Just sit there and allow people to attack them and kidnap them and kill them? No, they can't. So it's like nobody's going to win in that war. The innocent Palestinians are losing. The innocent Israelis are losing. And then we've got people that are at war and everybody's losing their lives. And nobody wins here. You know what I mean? The only one that's winning is Hamas. But it's a situation that it has no winner, just like this. No winner. It's just brutal, dude. Brutal. And you can't accuse somebody of something without any proof 20, 30, 40 years later, because now you're causing problems for everyone. And I get, if it happened, God, I wish you would have come forward then. And I get how our society is, but doing it now, you put everybody through a ringer that, we don't even know if it's true or not. It's just, again, there are no winning situations here at all. None whatsoever. Big O, the only concert I'm interested in watching is the one playing in the Finns Super Bowl parade. I like it. Well, that's not true, Jayhawk. That's not true. You are a liar, Jayhawk. Okay? How about the band playing at halftime in the Super Bowl? Dolphins are in the Super Bowl. You're only worried about the band playing in the parade after we win the Super Bowl. But what about during the Super Bowl? There you go. Don't we know who it is already, by the way? I think we do, right? Isn't it Riri? I think it's Riri. You don't know who Riri is, huh? Somebody tell Shad who Riri is. Huh? Come on. Is it Usher? I thought it was really? I think you're right. I think it is Usher. I think so. I think you are correct. Yeah, I think Usher got it. I don't know why I thought it was this girl. What's her name? Rihanna. Why did I think it was Rihanna last year? Oh, that's what it was. It was. She was last year, right? That she did that whole thing in that big red dress. That's what it was. I got it confused. So it's Usher this year. That's right. You are correct. He's all right. I like Usher. He'll be entertaining as hell, and he'll be professional, which is what they want. You know what I'm saying? Isn't Dr. Dre in charge of all of this stuff now? Isn't Dr. Dre like with Apple or some shit like that, working the halftime shows? I thought he was like in charge of it. Let's see. Yeah, she was about to pop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Rihanna did it last year, right? With all those levels, right? Those platforms that were like floating. It was good. It was good. I like Rihanna. She's good. She's a talented woman. Something that let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar first of all, folks, okay? Alan Blanco and the great people at 3A Graphics, custom printing and embroidery. The Heat favored by 2 against the Grizzlies tonight, 8-10. At 7:30, the Panthers are favored by 1.5 goals. The over and under 6.5 against the Capitals on the road. Thursday, we got looking forward to that football game, right? Panthers favored by 1.5. The over and under 6.5. Jesus, that is a terrible game. Then you've got on Saturday, speaking of terrible games, the University of Miami is visiting FSU, and FSU is favored by 14. The over and under is 50.5. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, make sure you call 3A Graphics. They're in Hialeah, 786-618-1443. Ask for Alan Blanco. He is an absolute beast. You will love him. Good people, man. Alan Blanco. Let's see. Yes, sir. What you got?
Let me turn my mic on. All right. I believe it's Jay-Z. It's Rock Nation.
Jay-Z. Dr. Dre.
Devin Jordan had said Jay-Z in there, but when I looked it up as Rock Nation, I couldn't remember who was in charge of Rock Nation.
It's Jay-Z. That's my bad. It's Jay-Z, not Dr. Dre. That's exactly. I got my executive investing rappers mixed up. Because those two know business. Yeah, those two guys are they're pure business, baby. Business.
How do you have early access to Hard Rock? No, like tickets, I get them at the same time whenever they go on sale, like you do, bro. No, I don't have any early access. That would be pretty cool, but yeah, no. Big O, I don't feel good about this. Why would you feel good about FSU, Devin? That's going to be a slaughter. All right, let's get to this. Dolphins are in the bye week, okay? So they get to rest, relax, recharge, and get ready for the second half of the season. They'll get Rob Hunt back, I believe. They'll definitely get a Chan back. So they're going to be pretty close to healthy outside of Isaiah Wynn, which is pretty awesome for the second half. And let's hope that they can stay healthy from here on out and get some luck, it would be nice for the Dolphins to start getting some breaks because, man, our Dolphins have not been getting breaks for like a quarter century now. Kind of tired of everything going against them. But, one of the things that we've talked about, it's kind of been a theme today because if you saw the Matt Verderame interview, we were talking about how Miami's offense has a thing about it gets punched in the mouth and it doesn't respond. And that doesn't necessarily mean about being on the O-line where there's I'm talking about everything. Your receivers, your running backs, your O-line, your quarterbacks, your tight ends, your head coach, your offensive coordinator, whatever. They all get punched in the mouth and they don't respond the way they're supposed to against the elite teams, right? Well, one of the things is you need to become a tougher team. And part of it is the coach having to stick with the run at times. That will make you more of a physical team. Because if you're able to punch people in the mouth like you did on those consecutive runs by Mostert, and if you would have kept it going, and you close out the game that way, that sends a message. That's an exclamation point that we can beat you through the air. And if we want to line up and put the hand on the ground, we're going to shove the ball down your throat. Well, the other way you shove the ball down their throat is by passing the ball. But here's the difference. You're doing it with a lot of speed, a lot of finesse, separation. You're doing it with a lot of play design, all those things that are freeing your guys up. Well, what about the physical nature of the game? This is a team that does not have a tight end. They just don't have it. They were using Smythe early on, and I'm almost starting to think that Smythe might be a better average pass catcher than he is an average blocker. After watching him screw up so many blocks, including the enormous block that he missed this week that caused a fumble with Tyreek Hill. Here's where Mike McDaniel, Chase Claypool, and Cedric Wilson come in. And it is time for you to maybe add an element to your inside passing game. And while Braxton Berrios is fantastic as a slot receiver, he is also small like your outside receivers. And what Tua needs is, like any other quarterback that isn't a tall quarterback, give him bigger targets. Make life a little easier on him and make it harder on the defense. I don't care about Chase Claypool having to learn the whole playbook. Where I do disagree with Mike McDaniel, he can learn a couple of plays. Anybody can learn a couple of plays. The kid went to Notre Dame. He has to have half a brain. They just don't recruit you at Notre Dame and you're a moron. Okay? If they recruit you to Notre Dame, they know that at that school, you're going to have to kind of actually like hit the books. So you're going to need at least half a brain. Okay? Some schools around, I won't mention them, they don't care if you have a tenth of a brain left. They'll get you by. Okay? All right? Just a little push and you'll be flying. Just a little Billy Joel line. They'll give you that push. But at Notre Dame, you're going to have to hit the books. So he's got some intelligence. Don't tell me he can't learn to catch the ball on a couple routes in the middle of the field with that big-ass body of his. And Cedric Wilson showed you by catching the touchdown, but use him in those kind of situations.
not with the game on the line, and he has to be on the same page. Use him in other situations where he can develop that kind of chemistry. But Cedric Wilson is 6'2". This kid, Claypool's 6'4". You are not great at tight end. Start becoming more of a physical presence in the middle of the field with those two guys. Okay? And by the way, they can also help out in the running game. I saw Chase block. You got big body receivers out there. They will help you in the second level also when you are running. So let's see if in the second half of the season, I told you in the pregame against Kansas City, use Cedric Wilson against Trent McDuffie. Because even though Trent McDuffie's played well, he's 5'10", and Cedric Wilson is 6'2". And you threw the touchdown pass to him, and McDuffie did not have a chance because Cedric's the better player, and he can high point the ball better, just like Chase Claypool can. Use the size to your advantage. While Durham Smythe cannot be trusted either way, these guys are at least accomplished receivers. But you're not asking them to play a huge role. You're asking them to play a complementary role in the middle of the field and create more of a physical presence. Punish these safeties with Chase Claypool. They don't want to cover Chase Claypool. They don't want to have to tackle Chase Claypool. Trust me. So please get a little bit more tougher at that wide receiver spot and start to use the size that you do have there. That size, I think, will open it up for some of the guys with speed. And remember, the safeties have to worry about the guys with speed. That still allows Chase Claypool to play or Cedric to play a lot of one-on-one, which if it's not a tall corner, which usually your slot corners are not tall. So that's one thing that I think you could add, an element that you can add to this game to become a little bit more of a physical presence on offense. 11-3 going into the Cowboys game. Feels like we're finally getting a game against a good team at home. Cowboys aren't great, but hey, winning record, team home, I'll take it. Yeah. La Cocina de Jose says, the coach has to be more serious and stop joking about everything. Better not drop one of the next 5 games, says Jamesville. They're all winnable. Why haven't they used Claypool more is something I don't either, True Fin fan. I don't get it. Because he doesn't have to know the whole playbook. That's a bunch of shit. He can know just a couple of plays and say, look, this is what you're doing on this play, and these are the 2 options you have. That's it. Big O, as a lifelong Dolphins fan, I believe this is the worst tight end room I can remember. What do you think? Yeah, Jonathan, I would say so. Thank you, True Fin fan. Jamesville says, would Chase Claypool have fumbled the ball on the wide receiver screen? I don't know. It's a great question, but I don't know. Bottom line is, Durham Smythe, don't put him in the block, bro. Don't put him in the block in key moments because he has failed too many times. Remember, you can make a donation through Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. I've already talked about the Dolphins being on Hard Knocks. Give me more Dolphins. I'm good. I love it, Devin. The more Dolphins you give me, the happier I am. I think it'll be a great recruiting tool for the Dolphins. I think players will fall in love with Mike McDaniel. I think they'll like our team and the amount of leadership that's on this team overall. And it's a great way to show off the facilities and everything else. I think it's a positive. I really do. The one negative will be the Tua haters, the ones that have been all wrong about Tua. They'll try to find something to nitpick against the kid. That's about the only thing. But outside of that, I love it. I love it. We don't have Philbin. We don't have Ireland. We don't have a bunch of dysfunction. We have a really cool organization now. It's a growing organization. It's just, I love the head coach. He's got to get a little better, a little sharpen up a little bit. All right, we're out of here. We thank Matt Verderame, Joe Shad, Ira Winderman. We thank of course, Sean Stanley, the man, the myth, the legend that knows how to get it done. We will see you all tomorrow live from Hialeah Park, baby, starting at 3 o'clock. Yes, sir, 3 to 6 at Hialeah Park. Y'all be good out there. We'll see you same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show.